Under the brilliant full moon, it's time. A critical, fated event is about to unfold. Their clan, destroyed by the demonic sect, remaining survivors walk this grim night, fueled by a profound reason to live. Amidst the dark, silent foliage, the chilling truth is revealed. Their sole motivation for survival is relentless revenge. A cloaked figure, seemingly the protagonist, emerges from the shadows with a deep, resonating sound, perhaps ready to strike. The cloaked figure sweeps through the moonlit foliage, swift vengeance approaching. A cloaked figure, the protagonist, leaps swiftly over a rooftop, initiating their vengeful action. Flames erupt fiercely from a brazier, casting an ominous glow, signaling the beginning of a fiery conflict. A stoic guard watches the blazing brazier while the protagonist, eyes fixed on the target, prepares to move, ready for the confrontation. The protagonist strikes, landing a devastating blow, causing the guard to recoil in agony, blood spattering. The protagonist stands grimly, knowing the sentry's disappearance will soon be noticed, escalating the impending conflict. The protagonist vows to finish their task quickly before their presence is discovered, creating urgent tension. The fallen guard lies motionless by the brazier, confirming the protagonist's swift, decisive action. Screams echo as a surge of ominous red energy spreads across the night sky, indicating a powerful, dark attack has begun. A calm, white-haired elder senses the mounting chaos outside, acknowledging the developing conflict. The protagonist, dragging a defeated guard, confronts the elder, accusing him of meditating while his subordinates fall. The protagonist criticizes the elder's heartlessness, provoking a sharp retort about their ignorance and recklessness. The white-haired elder, with glowing red eyes, dismisses the protagonist's accusations of heartlessness, comparing subordinates to insignificant insects. The powerful elder, with glowing red energy, declares that true martial artists only focus on the pinnacle, dismissing all else as irrelevant. The bloodied protagonist, the heavenly demon, declares his intent to personally kill Kang Wooncheon, setting up a fated confrontation. The heavenly demon unleashes a powerful, blue-glowing attack, launching himself with incredible speed towards the elder. The heavenly demon roars, activating his heavenly lightning fist, unleashing a devastating surge of lightning energy. The heavenly demon's heavenly lightning fist connects, sending a surge of blinding blue lightning and a shockwave through the elder. The elder, seemingly unfazed, mockingly challenges the heavenly demon, "Is that all you've got?" escalating the tension. The elder retaliates fiercely, unleashing the powerful, heavenly blood-tide art, surrounded by a torrent of crimson energy. The elder attacks with a powerful, glowing hand, instructing his opponent to watch and learn as the battle intensifies. The elder's heavenly blood-tide art unleashes a blinding, fiery attack, pushing back the heavenly demon's lightning strike. A clash of overwhelming powers as the heavenly demon's lightning fist collides with the elder's fiery attack, shattering the floor. The heavenly demon reels back, "Keuk!" his face strained, clearly impacted by the elder's powerful counterattack. The elder's fiery attack sends the heavenly demon skidding back, his hands glowing from the intense impact. The elder expresses shock, realizing the heavenly demon is using sword chi with his hand, marking a dramatic turn in the intense battle. Kang Wooncheon vows to send the heavenly demon to his father today, declaring him finished as he unleashes a powerful, fiery attack. A blue glow confirms the execution of a powerful technique, Cloud Dragon Divine Fist, poised for impact. The heavenly demon channels a glowing aura, reacting with surprise to Kang Wooncheon's declaration of transcendence. The heavenly demon unleashes his heavenly divine palm, creating a powerful energy clash with Kang Wooncheon's fiery assault. Kang Wooncheon declares the power of his steel tempering, as his fiery attack continues to overwhelm the heavenly demon. Kang Wooncheon's steel-tempered fists glow with power, mocking the heavenly demon for being overwhelmed by bare hands. Kang Wooncheon screams, enveloped in a potent blue lightning attack, his face contorted in pain as the battle rages. Thud. The heavenly demon's counterattack sends Kang Wooncheon flying backward amidst a burst of blue lightning and debris. Thud. The force of the Heavenly Demon's attack continues to resound, as debris scatters from Kang Wunshin's defeat. The Heavenly Demon, visibly exhausted, warns Kang Wunshin not to speak of his father, maintaining his fierce stance amidst the lightning. Heavenly Demon furiously warns Kang Wunshin against speaking of his father with that dirty mouth. The Heavenly Demon, crackling with lightning, fiercely reminds Kang Wunshin of his past evil deeds. Kang Wunshin convulses, declaring that the Heavenly Demon's power is the rage of all those people, as his defeat looms. Kang Wunshin expresses shock and regret, realizing he should have annihilated the Cloud Dragon sect, surprised by the Heavenly Demon's growth. Kang Wunshin, bleeding and infuriated that the Heavenly Demon broke his art, prepares a dark bottle, implying a desperate, final resort. Kang Wunshin unleashes a desperate, potent blue liquid. Heavenly Demon is shocked. Is that an elixir? As wounded Kang Wunshin consumes it, suddenly surging with power. The Heavenly Demon looks horrified, realizing Kang Wunshin drank an immense amount of elixir, signaling a drastic shift in power. Kang Wunshin's body shatters, exploding in a chaotic burst of purple energy as the Heavenly Demon realizes he's undergoing demonic chi deviation. Kang Wunshin's chi deviation explodes, engulfing the area in a dangerous burst of purple energy. Kang Wunshin's eyes glow purple as he's consumed by the dark energy of his chi deviation, transforming into a monstrous form. Kang Wunshin's eyes glow with dark power as he screams, "Urgh!" the chi deviation taking full hold. Kang Wunshin fully succumbs to demonic chi, his face twisted in a painful scream amidst the overwhelming purple energy. Wham! Kang Wunshin's demonic chi deviation erupts in a blinding purple blast, violently striking the Heavenly Demon. The Heavenly Demon struggles, KEUK, as Kang Wunshin, now empowered by demonic chi, unleashes a devastating purple energy attack. Kang Wunshin calls the Heavenly Demon child, hinting at a deeper connection or power disparity as his eyes glow ominously. Kang Wunshin, consumed by rage and demonic power, unleashes a blinding purple attack, declaring, "It's time you disappear!" to the Heavenly Demon. The Heavenly Demon realizes he's too late, as Kang Wunshin's demonic power fully consumes him. The Heavenly Demon's face reflects deep shock and fear, realizing the dire consequences of Kang Wunshin's chi deviation. The Heavenly Demon desperately erects a barrier as Kang Wunshin's overwhelming purple demonic chi descends upon him. Kang Wunshin's overwhelming purple demonic power clashes intensely with the Heavenly Demon's desperate green barrier. The Heavenly Demon reacts with shock as Kang Wunshin unleashes a horrifying surge of purple demonic energy. A mysterious cloaked figure arrives, apologetically stating he's a bit late due to lazing around, despite the critical situation. The Heavenly Demon, severely injured, recognizes the arriving cloaked figure, exclaiming, "Gee, Great Mage!" signaling a powerful ally's arrival. The Great Mage, annoyed by the nickname, questions if the monstrous Kang Wunshin is the nemesis the Heavenly Demon spoke of. Wait! The story's reader is shocked by this Murim tale's sudden, quote, otherworlder development. The narrator questions why a random high-level mage from a different world suddenly appeared in the Murim story. What a mood killer. Is the author out of his mind? Jin Seowoon, 23, confusedly questions the Murim story's sudden appearance of an another world mage. A buzzing phone displays Jin Seowoon's narration, 6 months discharged, preparing for college. Jin Seowoon receives a text asking to play, sighing at his friend's constant requests. Jin Seowoon reflects on his life plans made before military discharge, amidst books and a drink. Jin Seowoon planned to earn certifications and study neglected subjects upon returning to college after military service. But he missed. Jin Seowoon walks, contemplating finding a part-time job despite having some money left, reflecting on his future. As a Murim novel fanatic lost in fantasies, Jin Seowoon is recognized by someone at a cafe door. Jin Seowoon requests 10 hours at Loyal Ground, confirming he's settling in for another long gaming session. Jin Seowoon acknowledges his extensive playtime in Loyal Ground, focused on his gaming setup. Jin Seowoon, now a serious gamer after discharge, quickly rose to a top 10 rank in Loyal Ground. Jin Seowoon, earning money from internet cafe tournaments, puts on his headphones, telling his friend he's logging into the game. Jin Seowoon clicks Loyal Ground, beginning an explanation of the game's mechanics. In survival game, 100 players parachute from planes, collecting weapons to eliminate each other until one remains. Jin Seowoon, now in combat attire and goggles, smiles as he freefalls, the text emphasizing the only one person is left, win condition. Jin Seowoon precisely locates two targets 250 meters away, ready to engage in the game. A player in a skull mask opens fire with an assault rifle, initiating a chaotic combat scene. Jin Seowoon, now an in-game soldier, fires at a target, while another soldier in camo takes aim, beginning combat. Thinking, whoa, there are only two people left. Jin Seowoon aims his gun across the grassy terrain, sensing the nearing end of the game. Jin Seowoon, annoyed by his loud friend, urges farming and survival as they search for the safe zone. Jin Seowoon confirms their priority, finding the safe zone before moving forward. His friend pledges absolute trust in Jin Seowoon, then immediately promises to shut up. Amidst swirling chaos, the character screams, "It's a trap!" his face filled with dawning horror. Jin Seowoon questions the disappearance of the skull-masked player, hinting at a new, mysterious development within the game. Jin Seowoon's foot lands on a creaking floorboard, revealing the game's unexpected realism and new tension. Jin Seowoon notices untouched loot, deducing his opponent didn't visit this location, increasing his strategic advantage. Thud. Jin Seowoon, surprised, finds free loot as a skull-masked enemy silently appears behind him. The skull-masked enemy, with glowing eyes, turns slowly, silently observing Jin Seowoon, ready for combat. Jin Seowoon gazes up in pure shock as an intense, blinding light descends from above. Thud. A blinding impact hits the surprised Jin Seowoon, suggesting the powerful arrival of the quote otherworlder mage. Jin Seowoon's teammate dies, revealing the skull-masked enemy was hiding indoors. Jin Seowoon must now escape. Jin Seowoon bolts, frantically escaping the building after his teammate's unexpected death. The skull-masked enemy, armed, dashes out of the building after Jin Seowoon, intensifying the chase. Jin Seowoon triumphs, declared the last person remaining in the intense game, 1/100th. His friend cheers about being carried so hard, while a tired Jin Seowoon tells him to queue up already for the next game. The character decides to lock in and start studying tomorrow, as the late hour shows on their screen. Jin Seowoon's headphones buzz, prompting a surprised, "Huh?" as he reacts to an unexpected development. Jin Seowoon receives a message from his mom, sending academy fees and encouraging him, to which he replies he's going to sleep soon. Jin Seowoon informs his friend he's quitting games for an English academy, breaking a clan war promise. Jin Seowoon feels guilty seeing his mom's texts, reflecting on months spent gaming instead of studying. Ethereal light twinkles through the window, subtly connecting to the otherworld's mysterious presence. Jin Seowoon lies silently in his dim room, phone in hand, lost in quiet contemplation. On his phone, Jin Seowoon sees news of people with mysterious powers appearing globally, foreshadowing new real-world threats. The narrator reveals that the mysterious power users are calling themselves players, hinting at a game-like reality. Jin Seowoon is shocked as the video disappears, questioning if it was deleted, linking the game to real events. Jin Seowoon decides to sleep, abandoning his research on the mysterious players. The morning sun illuminates the exterior of Jin Seowoon's window, marking the passage of time. Jin Seowoon, walking away, gets a text asking for help preparing for a quote clan war, indicating a persistent friend. Torn, Jin Seowoon considers playing one last game with his friend, questioning his resolve. A confused Jin Seowoon questions his new reality as a strange purple energy emanates from him. Thump. Jin Seowoon, surrounded by purple specks, reacts in disbelief, what? As his mundane life suddenly shifts. What is this light? The figure is consumed by a blinding, mysterious purple energy. Jin Seowoon is bathed in a radiating purple light, undergoing a mysterious transformation. A purple backpack, possibly Jin Seowoon's, drops to the ground with a thud, leaving behind a mysterious aura. Only Jin Seowoon's backpack remains, signaling his sudden disappearance and transformation. Useless. Let's join forces now, as a new power emerges. Jin Seowoon looks around in utter confusion, wondering where the hell he's ended up. Jin Seowoon stands bewildered amongst Murim warriors and a giant stone knight, questioning his new reality. The narrator questions the mysterious light, lamenting his shattered resolve to study. Thud, Jin Seowoon asks, "Did I get punished? Trapped in a new, unfamiliar reality?" Jin Seowoon awakens in a new world, disturbed by a loud voice, and questions his new surroundings. Jin Seowoon finds himself amidst a tense confrontation between two groups, seemingly about to witness a battle unfold. Jin Seowoon's new reality reveals a fierce battle where two warriors clash and one reels from a powerful attack. Jin Seowoon, bewildered, questions, why are there so many cosplayers around, as he observes the Murim characters. Jin Seowoon questions, is this a dream? As a wizard uses a glowing staff to attack an enemy amidst green energy. Jin Seowoon, wide-eyed, utters, just, as he processes his baffling, sudden transition into the Murim world. Where am I? Jin Seowoon finds himself bewildered among a crowd of martial artists and a stone knight in a new world. Ding! A notification announces 100 players detected, signaling a new game event in Jin Seowoon's transformed reality. Jin Seowoon questions his sanity, hearing a voice in his head as he faces the Stone Knight. The Stone Knight's eyes glow brightly, emanating power, indicating it's the source of the voice. Initializing the system signals a profound change in Jin Seowoon's reality. Jin Seowoon's eyes glow with newfound power, revealing his transformed state. Jin Seowoon questions the system as his gaming knowledge unexpectedly manifests in his new reality. Language synchronization 100% complete, bridging the communication gap in this new world. Jin Seowoon is shocked, realizing the characters in this new world are suddenly speaking Korean. Jin Seowoon's friend exclaims, "Hey, everyone's speaking my language now," highlighting the successful language synchronization. "I've been waiting for this day, enemy of our sect." Chiron questions if Escrow caused their predicament, while Escrow slyly admits he planned this nemesis encounter, deepening the plot. Jin Seowoon questions his current situation, implying someone else transported him here. "You sure are shameless," and declares they won't be fooled again. A skeletal figure declares belief irrelevant, as everyone is fated to kneel before the Demon King's power. The Archmage, glowing with power, promises a demonstration of his abilities, raising his staff. The Archmage, eyes blazing, vows to kill King Wunshin immediately, then target the Demon King next. Escrow, the Archmage, unleashes ESCRO-style lightning, striking down the enemy, showcasing his immense power. Escrow is stunned, questioning why the direct magic hit didn't damage him, despite his skeleton-like appearance. Thud, the warrior questions his lack of sensation after the powerful attack, indicating unusual durability. Jin Seowoon realizes this is too realistic for a dream as he confronts the magic users. Escrow mockingly asks, "Do you think I'd just tell you?" Ding! The system announces, "Beginning the game," stunning Jin Seowoon as his eyes reflect the new reality. Difficulty: easy, get into the top 90. The map is King Kingdom's capital, with rewards for the top 10. Skipping the tutorial. The system confirms that attacks between players are neutralized in the waiting room, ensuring a safe pre-game environment. Bong! A glowing map materializes, startling Jin Seowoon, who exclaims, "This is a game map?" Ding! The Stone Knight, acting as a tutorial guide, announces a, quote, "brief explanation for first-time less than Cloyd Survival greater than players." The system reveals a 100-year game, with the playable map shrinking daily increasing pressure. The system warns players to be careful not to exit the limited map, threatening great harm otherwise. The game will continue until there is only one survivor left. The system explains that elimination or game completion will return players to their original world. The system warns that players failing to reach the top 90 cannot re-enter Cloyd Survival, emphasizing high stakes. Players will descend into the map via Argus's Gaze, where they must acquire items to reach the top 90. A final message wishes players, "May luck be with you," sending them off into the dangerous game. Jin Seowoon's terrified expression and sweat betray his overwhelming realization he's trapped in a deadly game. Jin Seowoon questions if he's merely dreaming about his game, Loyal Ground, unable to distinguish reality. Jin Seowoon stands silently amidst a crowd of diverse characters, pondering the rewards for reaching the top 10. Despite his weariness, the young man's resolve solidified for the looming challenge. Despite the surreal nature, the hero's resolve hardens, even if this were a dream. The warrior's glowing sword and eyes signal a fierce power-up, observed by his companion. Amidst these absurd humans, a powerful character reflects with cynical disdain. The man casually licks his blade, menacingly taunting the robed figure with a smirk. Surrounded by imposing figures, the young man fearfully asks, "I will die, right?" The sweating hero fiercely declares his will to live. "Even if this is a dream, I don't want to die. If this is really like Elogi, then a character realizes, hinting at a game-like revelation. The young man, addressed as Messy Hair, looks confused, wondering if he's the target. A warrior demands to know the young man's origin, his sword plunged into the ground as the youth remains silent. The warrior angrily confronts the hero for ignoring his question about his origin, his sword glowing. The protagonist smirks confidently as a game interface announces, "Game starting in 3. The game countdown continues with 2, building intense anticipation for the start. The angered warrior glares, demanding to know, "Why are you laughing? Are you insane?" The ding sound confirms the game's countdown reaches 1, signaling imminent action. The hero, glowing with green energy, embraces his fun dream by defiantly laughing at his opponents. The hero confidently activates his LOG abilities, declaring he'll defeat his opponents and survive, enraging them. Ding! Cloyd Survival, Day 1, start! Announces the game system, initiating the challenge. Blinding blue energy erupts around the character, signaling immense power and escalating the conflict. Bathed in intense blue light, the protagonist, Cloyd, prepares for battle, radiating power. Characters are violently flung through a blinding blue surge of immense power. The hero observes others falling towards item-rich, crowded areas, initiating intense competition. The hero, amidst glowing energy, acknowledges crowded areas have items, but decides to land safely on the outskirts. The hero, now cloaked in blue energy, opts for a safer, less crowded landing zone, saying, "Around there should be good." Cloyd yells, "Descend!" as he plummets powerfully, a bright signaling his impactful descent into the forest. Cloyd's powerful descent creates a bright, impactful crash near the house. Cloyd lands powerfully, crouching with a determined glow, ready for the upcoming challenge. Cloyd stands ready in a grassy field near a house, surrounded by ethereal glows, poised for action. Cloyd, clearly suffering, grimaces from intense motion sickness after his descent. For now, let's enter that house. Russell alerts Cloyd, who reacts with wide, wary eyes, sensing an unseen presence. Cloyd realizes his motion sickness prevented him from seeing other landing participants, intensifying the unknown threat. "Okay, I understand. Please provide the text you would like me to read back to you." Cloyd frantically searches inside the house, realizing he's vulnerable without a weapon against potential enemies. Cloyd swiftly dashes through the house, seeking a weapon amidst sparkling moats and intense speed lines. Cloyd collapses, panting heavily, clutching his chest in obvious distress and exhaustion. Cloyd sweats, regretting provoking the sword wielder, fearing he's been followed, and facing dire consequences. Cloyd glances outside nervously, sweat dripping, confirming his apprehension about being pursued. The character wonders, was it just the sound of the wind? Surrounded by a tranquil house and trees, hinting at lingering paranoia. The protagonist notes the absence of further sounds, indicating a temporary reprieve from immediate danger. The protagonist decides to search the house for resources, hinting at strategic planning. The protagonist realizes he must search the house for items, as instructed for his landing area. Cloyd finds a blunt blade, a potential weapon, stepping on it in the dim light. Cloyd looks up, puzzled, uttering, as he notices something unexpected in his surroundings. Cloyd obtains a heavy crossbow, but struggles, exclaiming, "This is too heavy." The protagonist grabs a quiver of arrows, deciding, but it's still better than nothing, despite their apparent crudeness. Upon equipping the item, the protagonist immediately understood how to use it, revealing innate system knowledge. Cloyd strains, his legs shaking as he attempts to load the heavy crossbow with an arrow. Cloyd, former army sergeant, confidently wields the crossbow, declaring it nothing for him. The protagonist's hand clicks the crossbow, realizing, if I do this, it'll shoot, setting up an imminent attack. Cloyd fires the crossbow, a blazing arrow obliterating a section of the floor, creating a brilliant, explosive impact. Whoa! Cloyd reacts as his fired arrow impressively pierces the wooden wall. Cloyd, holding the crossbow, grins, confidently asserting its usefulness once he masters it. The protagonist emerges from the house, stating he found nothing else useful, equipped with his crossbow. Cloyd observes the vast map, noting its size as a positive, hinting at extensive exploration. The protagonist runs cautiously, reasoning that avoiding early enemies allows safe farming throughout the map. Cloyd precisely aims his crossbow, his eyes intensely focused on an unseen target. Cloyd's crossbow glows with activated power as he prepares for the imminent challenge. Cloyd discovers a glowing scroll, exclaiming, "What's this?" in surprise, hinting at a new revelation. The system notifies the protagonist of acquiring a healing scroll small, a valuable combat asset. A new system message confirms the healing scroll small's function. Ripping it heals injuries. Cloyd stares in disbelief at the healing scroll, contemplating its implications in this new reality. Thinking I should take more recovery items, the protagonist wishes for an item bag, revealing inventory limitations. The protagonist notices a mysterious pink glow emanating from a bookshelf, uttering, in surprise. You have obtained Black Star Leader's martial arts book. A system alert announces a DI-ing, detailing the newly acquired martial art. It's a martial art that lets you project dark energy through your fingers. Cloyd contemplates learning the Black Star Leader's martial arts book, questioning if it'll initiate a tutorial. Cloyd's face glows with intense purple energy, signifying the powerful martial arts he's learning. The protagonist is engulfed in potent purple energy, signifying his new martial arts power. The martial arts book explodes into radiant purple energy, signifying its assimilation and the power absorbed. Cloyd, engulfed in purple energy, questions if that was all to the martial arts book. Anticipating more, Cloyd gasps, realizing his hands are now glowing with purple energy, hinting at activated powers. A hand glows with intense purple energy, unleashing a shocking new power surge. The man delivers a swift, thundering purple energy strike. The man explosively unleashes an overwhelming wave of purple energy. The man's swift power shatters the obstacle, his confident smirk affirming victory. Amidst the aftermath, the protagonist triumphantly declares, "I've learned a martial art." The man's powerful fork strike violently shattered the wood. The confident man, holding a fork, celebrates his mastery with a delighted, "Nice!" The man ponders if magic books exist, connecting his world to Cloyd Survival and Loyal Ground. The man, having explored the entire area, decides to relocate for further exploration. The sun dawned while I farmed, the man thinks, realizing he must quickly find shelter in the glowing night. The man's eyes glow with an intense, unsettling blue light, hinting at a new, formidable power. The armed man notices the only house lit, a suspicious beacon in the darkness. The man speculates the lone lit house signals a hidden rare item, a perilous lure. The man looks up with wide, glowing blue eyes, sweating from intense concentration. The man considers an ominous alternative. Someone is inside the lit house. The man cautiously peeks through the door, crossbow ready, entering the illuminated house. Armed with his crossbow, the man anxiously realizes other unknown people have also landed nearby. The man realizes if someone else is here, they are either highly skilled or a novice. The man, armed with a crossbow, cautiously observes the silent first floor, sensing danger. The man cautiously wonders if adversaries are lurking upstairs on the second floor. The man, sweating, calculates that with his weapon and Black Star chi palms, he might have a chance against even a professional. A shoe steps silently forward, indicating a cautious, tense advance. A dark figure hides behind a structure on an illuminated indoor floor, likely unseen. The man, crossbow aimed, recoils in shock, his blue eyes widening at a startling revelation. A glowing lantern illuminates a room, creating a warm and welcoming ambiance. The man, armed with a crossbow, questions if the lone lantern is a dangerous trap. A wooden door with a ring handle suggests a hidden room, potentially housing the elusive item. His eye reveals intense focus, hinting at a crucial decision or realization. The man delivers a powerful kick, crossbow ready, shattering the wooden door inward. A powerful foot slams down, creating a forceful impact on the floor. The man turns sharply, beads of sweat on his face, reacting with intense alarm. The man, crossbow in hand, sweats nervously, his expression conveying tense anticipation. The man kneels, crossbow beside him, lamenting his unnecessary solo show. The man, relieved, exhales, finding comfort in the apparent absence of others. A hand reaches towards a glowing, ethereal ring, revealing its hidden presence. The man discovers a ring of strength, gaining a valuable stat boost. The man, holding a ring, questions if equipping it will instantly grant him strength. A hand slowly slips the glowing ring onto a finger, completing the equipping process. The man exclaims, "Whoa!" as his hand glows with sudden, immense power. The man marvels at his body's newfound lightness, barely feeling the crossbow's weight. The man's eyes widen, shocked by the sudden, significant increase in his strength. Startled, the man realizes his stats, or character info screen, has suddenly appeared. Jin Seowoon reviews his low stats, questioning if learning martial arts grants him the martial artist class. Wearing a new ring, the man grins, finding his current progress pretty cool compared to his meager beginnings. The character decides to thoroughly search the first floor of the building. A hand holds the Subspace ring, which enables item storage upon equipping. The man examines the rings on his fingers, musing about his repeated acquisition of rings. The man, with his new ring, learns to store items by thinking Subspace. The system reveals touching the ring while thinking of an item retrieves it from Subspace. The man wonders if his new Subspace functions as an inventory, replacing traditional bags. The man gazes intently at his glowing hand, exclaiming, "Whoa!" at the manifested Subspace. The man, hand glowing purple, finds the strange Subspace convenient, eliminating the need for a bag. The man, witnessing Subspace in action, wishes he possessed this convenience in real life. The man wonders about taking his newfound items and martial arts back to reality. The character studies the interface, questioning the absence of eliminations and expecting a kill log. The man's eyes widen, confirming his discovery with a relieved, "Oh, it's here." The man discovers James as the first elimination, confirming 99 survivors remain. His plan to farm until only 90 survivors remained was disrupted. The man successfully plundered houses, acquiring consumables and hidden weapons to complement his Black Star chi palms. The man contemplates leaving after searching or staying until morning for safety. He spots powerful waiting room foes, admitting he's currently too weak to fight them. He plans to hide from strong foes, reach the top 10, and earn more points for growth. He decides to explore one more location before dawn, leveraging the night's lower population. Empowered by the awesome Ring of Strength, the man moves tirelessly through the glowing landscape. Despite increased strength, the man still feels hunger and thirst, suggesting Cloyd Survival mirrors reality. The hungry man, finding no food in the glowing forest, hopes for supplies in the city. Following the map for houses, the man is suddenly met with a monstrous GRRR from the darkness. The man's eyes widen in terror as a growling, monstrous beast emerges right behind him. The man lunges forward, ready to strike under the blue forest glow. Shocked and sweating, the man exclaims, "Shoot!" baffled by the silent, unseen threat. A monstrous GRRR echoes as the man watches, a beast's shadowy form looming in the glowing forest. The man's sweat-drenched, wide eyes confirm his horrified realization. It's a werewolf! The man gasps, facing the terrifying beast. The monstrous werewolf violently attacks, its glowing red eyes and claws striking. The man screams in shock, utterly bewildered by the unexpected confrontation. The werewolf's claw attack explodes with blinding blue energy. Two monstrous werewolves emerge, growling fiercely, eyes burning red in the eerie blue forest. The startled man leaps back, exclaiming he thought this was PvP, not a monster game. Panting, the man regrets moving, wishing he'd stayed hidden after discovering the dangerous creatures. Panicked, the ranker sweats, fearing embarrassing defeat by a common mob. Desperate, the man sprints towards a house in the glowing, mysterious forest. The man collapses, panting heavily from exhaustion, his expression distraught. "Shit, it's coming all this way?" The man yells, sweat pouring, realizing the monster's direct pursuit. The man, trembling from a menacing, quote, GRRR, end quote, desperately wonders, quote, "What should I do?" end quote. Sweating, the man fearfully peeks through a crack, hearing the ominous GRRR of a nearby monster. Two monstrous werewolves snarl, red eyes blazing, near a house. Sweating, the man realizes the sniffing monster is tracking his scent. A sudden, critical realization sparks the man's next tactical move. The man cocks his crossbow, fiercely declaring, "I'll attack it first. Let's go." The man intensely aims his crossbow, focusing through the narrow opening. The man precisely fires his crossbow, launching a powerful, glowing blue bolt. A powerful crossbow bolt slices through the glowing forest. The monster screams, "Grah!" as the bolt strikes, engulfed in rage and red energy. The monster explodes into shards of light and energy. Nice? The man, now one-handing his crossbow, thanks to the Ring of Strength, prepares for the final foe. The man screams in terror as the monstrous werewolf unleashes a furious "Grah!" The man lunges with a glowing, furious punch. The man's face contorts in pain and determination, a fresh wound bleeding. The man rapidly evades a monster's attack, displaying quick reflexes amidst the blue energy. The man narrowly dodges a monstrous attack, yelling, "Fuck!" in desperate frustration. The man, wielding his crossbow, counterattacks the enraged monster with precision. The werewolf roars, "Grah!" as the man narrowly dodges its crushing claw attack. The man leaps back, dropping his crossbow, narrowly evading the monster's assault. The character grimly questions if this is their elimination. Facing elimination, the protagonist defiantly thinks, "Not yet." The man desperately yells, "Subspace!" as his hand glows, activating its power for a last resort. His hand blazes with power, unleashing the formidable Black Star Chi Palms. The man's fierce blue energy attack strikes the monstrous creature. His powerful Chi Palms erupt in a dazzling purple burst. A knife is violently embedded in the wall, leaving a trail of shattered debris. "I can't afford to lose to a mere underling," the determined man declares, refusing defeat. The man grimaces, surrounded by shattered debris and glowing blue energy. The man gasps, relieved, admitting he thought he was defeated. The man crashes down, creating a forceful impact on the ground. Relieved from near defeat, the man credits his stashed dagger, avoiding embarrassing failure against the mobs. Thinking, what is this? The man discovers a mysterious glowing bag. The man questions if the mysterious bag he found is a mob drop. The man, disappointed by mere water and jerky, scoffs, deciding to hunt for real food instead. The man, munching, ponders whether to scout his surroundings. The man finds glowing armor, wondering if it's akin to Loyal Ground's bulletproof vest. The man wears new armor, but it's uncomfortably large. The man realizes the ill-fitting armor magically adjusts to his size, a surprising and convenient discovery. The man equips the advanced orichalcum breastplate, significantly boosting his magic resistance. "Whoa, this is awesome," the man exclaims, thrilled his stats significantly increased. The man, now armored, confidently climbs, believing more valuable items await discovery. The man looks around, confused. Huh? What's this? There's nothing. The man's foot strikes a hidden item, raising the question, is this a hidden item? The man examines the transparent item, commenting on its cloth-like texture with a curious expression. The man equips the night cloak, gaining the ability to blend seamlessly into darkness. The man grins under his new cloak, thrilled by its undetectable stealth, declaring, "This is sick!" Realizing his new cloak makes him undetectable, the man proclaims it the ultimate survival item. The man, now confident in his invisibility, grins, asserting he can survive indefinitely. "Let's do it!" The house in the middle of nowhere surprises the man. It's a farming spot. My luck's better on the second day. Clad in his cloak, the man wonders if his random drop location explains the lack of other people. The man, startled, hears faint huffing and looks around, puzzled. The character moves swiftly, exclaiming, "Damn, damn," in a moment of intense frustration. Thinking, if only I had time, the character desperately seeks an opportunity to use a special ability. The cloaked man observes another struggling, panting individual from his hidden vantage point. The man notes his unexpected encounter with a mage in the eerie forest. The man assesses the mage, noting his apparent weakness and formulating a plan. Confident in his abilities, the character declares he can handle the situation. The mage, exhausted, walks wearily through the mystical blue forest. Sweating, the man struggles to shoot the person, battling the inner command. "Just a game, shoot, damn it." Thinking Escrow's flame, the mage unleashes a torrent of blinding fire, stunning the man. The man shields his face as powerful flames engulf the forest, threatening a distant figure. The mage is engulfed in powerful flames and screams in agony. A cloaked figure emerges, questioning the mage's demise amidst the lingering flames. The man's eyes widen, beads of sweat forming, as he reacts with shock to an unseen event. Observing a glowing chest instead of a corpse, the man deduces they're in a game, wondering about the fire's origin. The mage, wielding fire, scoffs at the man who dared steal his items, prompting a tense confrontation. The mage scoffs at his unlucky bastard victim, regretting they didn't die by his sword instead of burning. Thinking, he didn't see me and just walked by, the man praises his invisibility cloak. Chiron declares his opponent should be honored to have died by his hand, next to a treasure chest. The mage, standing beside a fallen treasure chest, suggests checking its contents. The mage opens a chest, grimly realizing the slain player was like him, fearing he's next. The man realizes hesitation means death, and a higher rank for his killer. Given the stark reality, the man resolves to act decisively. A tear forms in the man's wide blue eye, revealing his inner turmoil. The man's blue eye sharpens with fierce resolve, ready for the challenge. The character steels himself, prioritizing survival above all else. The mage smiles, wielding a glowing stone and thinking about his new, valuable acquisitions. The mage's intense gaze shifts, a surprised exclamation mark, escaping as shattered debris flies. Chiron, engulfed in his flames, curses, realizing a player detected him, blaming his commotion. The mage unleashes a powerful blue energy blast, sending shattered fragments flying. The man sharply recoils from the energy's impact. The mage, straining, worries his magical barrier will collapse under relentless assault. The man's keen blue eye observes, hiding discreetly within the forest. The grimacing mage, surrounded by fire, calls out, "Are you over there?" seeking his unseen opponent. The mage, enveloped in fierce flames, aggressively shouts, "Strike!" Unleashing a powerful attack. Chiron, shrouded in a red aura and wielding a blade, challenges his unseen foe to show yourself. The mage burns brightly, glowing embers emanating from his fiery form. The mage, wide-eyed and sweating, is visibly shocked by a sudden, unseen force. His powerful blue energy strike violently explodes outwards. The enraged mage screams as his barrier shatters, demanding his hidden assailants show themselves. The cloaked man attacks, while the mage responds with a powerful fire spell. As the mage prepares the escrow's flame, a critical blow strikes him in the head. Wounded and bleeding, the mage struggles, uttering "flame," hinting at his last act. The wounded mage collapses, muttering "STR Ike," as his opponent lunges through shattered debris. The man, now confident, prepares to unleash his powerful attack. "I won," the man gasps, surprised by the glowing purple reward from his victory. One chest opens, revealing another beneath it, shimmering with blue light. The man hurries to loot the chest, fearing the fire will attract unwanted attention. The man, cloaked, loots the mage's chest, obtaining gloves and a healing scroll. The character notes the recently acquired item is a beneficial healing tool. "You have obtained Escrow's necklace." The man questions the trash gold necklace, despite its magical significance, deciding to stash it. The man, surprised, gazes at a glowing pink object emerging from the chest. What's that?" A system notification announces the acquisition of Circle's stone. A hand holds a glowing, intricately designed spherical object, emanating mystical blue light. The system informs the user they can now engrave a heart circle to use mana. The man, holding the glowing stone, questions if it will allow him to learn magic and become a mage. The man, frustrated, laments lacking time to unleash his full power against the apprentice bastard. The protagonist finally understands a cryptic past statement. The man holds the mana stone, slyly stating he'll put it to good use in the mage's stead. The man decides to store his loot in his inventory and examine it later in a safer location. The man, cloaked, surveys the landscape, seeking a safe place to activate the circle stone. The cloaked man finds a promising location. The man, on the floor with an open inventory, decisively responds yes to using the circle stone. A system notification warns that using Circle Stone renders the user motionless for 3 hours. The man holds a pulsating blue light, his eyes wide in awe and disbelief. Okay, I will read the text back to you. Please provide the text. The system warns that forming the circle may cause slight pain. The man grunts, "Ugh," in intense pain and frustration. The character endured 3 hours of intense pain, suppressing screams as dawn breaks over a distant house. Lying on the floor, the sweating man questions, "A slight pain?" and admits he thought he was dead. Pondering the difficulty of magic compared to martial arts, the man decides to check his status. Jin Seowoon's stats appear, revealing he's a human martial artist with 2 jobs and a new mana stat. The man sweatily checks survivors on his screen, realizing 2 more have died. The cloaked man inspects glowing pots, a ding sound indicating a potential item interaction. The man's surprised expression reveals disbelief as he questions, "How is this possible?" "It dropped by that much?" the character exclaims, shocked by the plummeting survivor count of 45. Nam Sagwang's kill log reveals his ruthless efficiency, eliminating multiple players with martial arts. Nam Sagwang? A flashback reveals a worried man's past encounter with a powerful, confident figure a few hours earlier. Panting in desperation, The man begs his relentless pursuer to stop the chase. The mysterious person smirks, licking their lips in anticipation or satisfaction. The mysterious individual's foot crushes a stone underfoot, sending fragments flying. A surprised "ugh" erupts as the fighter is knocked backward, losing his sword. "Ah," the sweating man cries, desperately pleading to reach the top 90 in the game. The man, enveloped in blue energy, confronts his opponent, desperately begging them to stop. The man desperately pleads, tears and snot streaming, for mercy. "Please, just this once." The defeated foe wonders aloud if everyone now knows of his plight. An unseen figure moves through the glowing blue forest as the name Nam, Sagwan, is revealed. Revealed as World's Strongest Survivor number 5, the protagonist stands resolute. Cloyd Survival begins day 3, marked by a bright new dawn. "What?" the character exclaims, horrified that 54 people died, leaving only 45 survivors. The man, seeing Nam Sagwan on the kill log, hopes to avoid encountering such a dangerous player. The man's sweating, wide eye conveys a sudden, dawning realization. Wait. The character gains confidence, believing they can reach the top 10 with continued progress. The character anticipates the unknown reward for achieving the target ranking. The character speculates about the reward for ranking, hoping to transfer game skills or items to reality. The man sighs, chiding himself for getting distracted while a killer roams outside. The man plans to finish his task quickly and depart, his hand glowing with energy. The man, sweating and wide-eyed, feels power emanating from his hand, questioning, "Is this mana?" The man remembers finding a magic book while looting, as his hand conjures a purple portal. "I knew it," the man exclaims, holding the glowing magic book of Windball. A hand taps yes on a glowing interface, confirming item usage. The man, glowing with mana, stares blankly, asking, "Huh? What happened?" The character realizes the magic spell is being directly implanted into their mind. A shocked ESCRO is uttered as the man discovers the power of magic. The man unleashes a powerful wind ball attack, projecting a sphere of energy. Several glowing blue wind spheres form around the man's outstretched fingers. The man, visibly sweating, stares at the glowing orb, questioning, "Is this all there is?" The cloaked man effortlessly conjures multiple glowing orbs with his hand. The powerful wind spheres launch, causing debris to fly and surprising the man. The man surges with blue energy, launching a powerful attack in a burst of motion. "It's stronger than it looks," the man muses about the item, convinced it will be useful. Jin Seowoon questions his sudden exhaustion, realizing his mana is depleted after using magic. The restricted zone shrinks on the map. He'll farm at the boundary edges. With fewer players around, the man plans to quickly farm before the safe zone shrinks further. From hiding, the protagonist observes the cloaked mage retreating. A long-haired individual watches a cloaked figure walk away along a path. The white-haired elder, observing the scene, remarks, "How interesting." The figure is blown backwards, seemingly defeated, as debris flies across the bright sky. Half a day passes under a clear, bright sky. The character recalls seeing houses nearby on the map. The man's sweating, confused. "Huh?" reveals his surprise at the current situation. A cloaked figure stands amidst opened treasure chests and bloodstains, suggesting a recent conflict. The man's sweating face contorts in shock. A silent exclamation of exclamation mark. The man launches powerful wind ball attacks, urging them to strike. The man, surrounded by debris, unleashes a powerful magical attack, sending fragments flying everywhere. The man stares, surprised by his activated power's lingering effect, questioning, "Was it just the wind?" Sweating, the man clutches his cloak, sensing a hidden presence. The man's wide, sweating eyes convey a sudden, sharp realization. The shattered door reveals bloodstains on the floor. The damaged doorway reveals a blood-splattered floor with wooden crates. hinting at a brutal struggle. The man cautiously enters the bloody, ransacked building, realizing an injured person is inside. The man schemes to eliminate the injured survivors for their potential high-value loot. The character decides against conflict, prioritizing personal survival and opting to leave. The cloaked man walks past open chests, seemingly ignoring their contents. The cloaked figure strides purposefully into the misty forest, disappearing into the foliage. The ruined doorway reveals a silent, misty, eerie forest beyond. The character cautiously peeks through the damaged doorway, questioning, did he leave? The injured man sighs in relief, grateful for his quick hiding that saved him from death. The armored swordsman expresses frustration, believing he would have easily won if not injured. The armored character hurriedly loots a chest, as a red energy burst indicates a sudden, fierce attack. A shocked character, screaming, is bathed in ominous red light. The wounded man, blood trickling from his nose, stares in disbelief, muttering, "God damn it." A glowing spear flies past a building, illuminated by a bright sky. The cloaked man thanks the injured one for a swift arrival, crossbow ready amidst the chests. The man plans to quickly farm and move to the restricted zone's edge. A character observes an opponent, commenting on their apparent skill. The man is startled by the unexpected appearance of an old, bearded figure. The man curses, realizing he foolishly dropped his guard. The wise old man reassures the sweating protagonist, asking who he is amidst the magical light. The old man questions if his identity matters, emphasizing their diverse backgrounds. The man expresses surprise, noting the old man is unlike anyone he's encountered before. The cloaked man asks the elder if he's participated in this kind of play before. The old man tells the protagonist he's been watching his quick adaptation, confirming, this isn't real. The man, surprised, wonders how long he's been watched, admitting he's new here but from a similar game world. The old man, intrigued, confirms their game theory, recognizing the man isn't from his world. The old man remarks on the gathering darkness, while the younger man confirms it's the third day. The old man questions the moon's size, while the young man realizes he never noticed its enormity. The young man states the moon here is larger than in his world, a shared observation with the elder. The man asks the old man to explain the game, while simultaneously worrying about ambushes in their current spot. The wary man clutches his cloak, questioning the old man's intentions despite his offer to talk elsewhere. Okay, I will remain silent, and await the text to read back. Energy bursts violently through the trees, emphasizing the warning against becoming a target. The enraged old man lunges, his attack resonating with powerful green energy. The man grimaces and screams, UGHHHH! in intense pain and fury. The intense impact sends vertical lines across the panel. A silhouetted figure floats downward beneath a large, full moon. The narrator reflects on a past encounter, oblivious to its future consequences. The full moon bathes the nocturnal forest in an ethereal blue glow. The old man comments on a magical, advanced civilization where the young man plays dolls in a virtual space. The elder deduces the man's origin from an advanced civilization, explaining his quick adaptation, while the man curses his unknown watcher. The man, sweating, stares in disbelief as the old man claims to have watched him since their arrival, fearing mind reading. The old man explains his curiosity about their arrival led him to observe and approach, not harm. The old man admits he doesn't know why they were brought here, but asks if the younger man had similar experiences. The man explains his game is just for fun. People don't truly die in it. The speaker confesses ignorance. The otherworldly abductor's true motives remain unknown. I see, processing a difficult truth. A character foresees this game will be a huge opportunity for someone, hinting at significant future events. The old man, with a stern gaze, questions if this dire situation truly presents an opportunity. Perched above, the old man clarifies death here isn't final, but grants rank and item rewards upon dying. The old man reveals learned skills and martial arts are also rewards from this world, despite lacking firm proof. Magic is interesting, the speaker muses, suggesting these abilities offer a life-changing opportunity for those struggling, not themselves. The character sharply challenges the idea his life lacks struggle, hinting at unseen burdens. The young man recognizes the old master's power, but the old man dismisses his own value, stating the quote 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 quote. The old man chuckles at the young man's words, while the young man anxiously tells him to lower his voice. One character asks about the other's hovering hand gesture, realizing he doesn't know how to activate the map. Over discussions of world tips and his stories, morning quickly arrived, signifying passage of time. The character lands with a decisive step, noting, "It's already morning," signaling a new phase. The old man apologizes for taking the young man's time, who frantically denies it amidst a glowing spiritual energy. The young man internally considers the old man a safe companion, while the old man expresses enjoyment hearing about the young man's world. The young man, showing gratitude, asks the elder how he can repay him for what he's learned. The young man passionately asks the elder to teach him martial arts, desperate to survive and needing his aid. The old master regards the desperate plea with a knowing, subtle smirk. Grinning, the old man declares teaching isn't impossible, surprising the sweating young man. The speaker warns of preparing for the worst, prompting a hesitant query about what worst entails. The elder, with a calm gaze, bluntly states, "I mean death," followed by a chilling, unstated challenge. The elder poses a fateful question. "So, what will it be?" forcing a pivotal decision. Two powerful figures, a man and a woman, stand poised amid swirling blue and purple magic, ready for action. The elder, having offered a stark choice of death, waits for the young man's decision. The elder implies success beyond traditional means, demands a hefty, possibly grim, price. The elder gravely asks if the young man is prepared for the ultimate sacrifice, leaving him stunned. The old man declares, "People don't die here," startling the young man who realizes the truth. The elder ponders a method, igniting the young man's desperate plea for a path to strength. The young man eagerly declares he'll try anything to gain strength, demanding, "What should I do?" The old master touches the young man's head to gauge his inner energy, leaving him surprised. The old master's eye widens in shock, realizing something astonishing about the young man's inner energy. "My goodness, your inner energy." The elder, shocked by the young man's lack of inner energy, is reminded that his world lacks such concepts. The elder instructs the young man to sit in the lotus position, beginning his training. The old master begins imparting his wisdom, placing his hand on the young man's head amidst swirling light. The young man begins meditation as golden energy swirls around him, signifying the start of his training. The elder warns the young man will feel death-like pain without movement, prompting a fearful, "What should I do?" The elder grimly commands, "Endure it," signaling the start of harsh training. If you fail to do so, you'll die. The character's senses are on edge. The wind feels like sharp blades against their skin, indicating intense training. His breath feels like lava, and heightened senses allow him to hear ants crawling, reflecting extreme training. His hyper-sharpened senses now detect ants crawling, showcasing the training's intensity. A red exclamation point against a white, subtly textured background signals an immediate, critical development. The young man screams in agony as intense energy surges around him, indicating the painful initiation of his training. The panel explodes with blue energy and motion lines, implying a powerful, impactful event or sensation. The young man writhes in agony, sweat beading, as intense blue energy courses through him during the harsh training. The character's panicked thought, "Am I going to die?" reveals their intense fear amidst the struggle. The young man's face contorts in pain and determination as the intense energy engulfs him, driving his struggle. The young man's eye glows intensely blue, radiating energy, suggesting a critical turning point in his power development. The young man's eye glows with intense blue energy, and an outline of him meditating appears, signifying a deeper spiritual connection. The old master gently places his hand on the young man's head, who sits in meditation, seemingly guiding his practice. The young man's face contorts, sweat dripping, as he endures the grueling, painful training. The intense, painful training has been successfully completed. The young man sweats and gasps, MFFT, his eyes wide in shock at the training's sudden end or profound effect. Bleeg! The young man endures harsh training, proving his innate talent to the impressed elder. The elder, having corrected the young man's chi flow, declares his body changed, prompting a hopeful, "What now?" A character reminds the other of their stated desire for immediate strength. The sweating young man, wide-eyed, affirms his desperate desire to rapidly gain strength. The elder explains he shifted the recipient's soul, creating an inspiratory gate for power. The elder grimly warns unstable bodies, filled with others' life chi, risk shattered harmony, skill loss, or death. The imparted mind technique enables absorbing scattered life chi to boost inner energy. The young man fears death, but the elder clarifies his soul was used for the gate, making him unique and likely safer. The elder reveals the young man's blank inner energy, explaining his body was modified to absorb chi harmoniously via a forbidden technique. The elder confirms the unique chi absorption method results from the quote-quote setting, praising the young man's quick understanding. Is there anything else you would like me to read? I felt it yesterday. The elder reveals that life chi is left behind where people die, explaining the source of power. The elder explains his forbidden technique requires murder for success, but in this world, that's not an issue. The speaker reveals eliminating others ensures survival, shocking the young man. After 100 days, the characters promised significant progress and a high level of achievement. The elder announces it's time to part ways, hoping to reunite, but the young man pleads, "Whoa, wait!" The young man, desperate to know his benefactor, pleads for the elder to reveal his name. Jang Do-shan reveals his name and title, Deep Valley Standing Kindly, also naming the top martial arts, White Martial Physique Arts. The young man thanks the elder profusely. The elder then instructs him to practice deep breathing and Dantian concentration to accumulate inner energy and grow stronger. Jang Do-chan observes the map's convenience, likely due to the young man's unique body. The elder bids farewell, promising to return when opportunity arises, to which the young man respectfully agrees. The old master ascends rapidly, departing from the young man amid shimmering light. The elder vanished swiftly, leaving the young man alone in the forest to embark on his new journey. The young man wistfully wishes he could use Qigong, envying the effortless movement. The character strides towards the limited area's outskirts, executing the planned move. The character recounts being instantly abducted by the elder to the limited area's center, implying magical transport. The long walk to this moonlit area took half a day. The character expresses surprise at the map's unexpected size, indicating a long journey ahead. The young man observes the lantern lit, unusually, despite it being night. The young man speculates the illuminated house is empty, observing cautiously. The character considers a wry possibility. The lit house belongs to a newbie who can't turn lights off. The character resolves to visit the mysterious location tonight. The young man dashes towards the lit house at night. The cloaked figure silently creeps into the building under the night sky. The young man, grim and focused, stealthily aims his crossbow inside the house. Under a starry night, a single glowing window in a house hints at a new encounter or mystery. Time to farm Tilda. The young man looks utterly fed up, exclaiming, "Bullshit," as his farming venture quickly disappoints. Frustrated, the young man complains about obtaining only useless items, like healing scrolls and jerky, lamenting his wasted effort. The character yawns, realizing they're exhausted from talking with the elder all night. Drained, the protagonist resolves to sleep, utterly exhausted from his nocturnal endeavors. The full moon illuminates the serene night, marking the quiet passage of time. As sunlight streams into the room, a system notification announces, Cloyd Survival Day 5. Sunlight illuminates the resting figure beside a crossbow, marking a new day of uncertain adventures. The character sleeps peacefully amidst soft rustling, unwinding after intense events. The character realizes the house isn't empty, shocked by a sudden, critical discovery. A shadowy figure appears outside, startling the young man, as he realizes he's not alone. The character wakes, frustrated, having overslept despite the sun already being high in the sky. The heavy wooden door remains closed, hinting at the character's quiet stay inside. A character leans against a doorframe, sighing, relieved to finally rest. The character's eyes snap open in a sharp, startled realization. The young man fires his crossbow, the bolt erupting in a golden burst of force. The young man fires a powerful crossbow bolt, hitting the stunned opponent with glowing force. The man grimly endures a forceful impact, motion lines highlighting its intensity. The young man expresses annoyance at encountering a martial artist, indicating an unexpected challenge. The young man unleashes the Black Star Chi Palm, striking with a powerful crescent blade of blue energy and shrapnel. The martial artist is hit, blood splattering, and angrily condemns the use of hidden weapons. The man grimly retaliates with a powerful sword strike, ready to continue the intense fight. The young man triumphs over the martial artist, securing a critical win. The young man stomps on his opponent's hand, eliciting a pained "Ugh," marking his decisive victory. The young man angrily threatens his subdued opponent for interrupting his dream, who desperately pleads for mercy. "Please, I'll give you everything," the defeated martial artist desperately begs, pleading for his life. Bloody Jin Seowoon confirms Shui Orong's arrow headshot death, grimly stating, "Neither can I." The blood-splattered character stares blankly, questioning the aftermath of his actions. A mysterious glowing chest appears, promising new rewards after the battle. The character realizes the glowing chest is the reward Elder Zhang Doqian promised, confirming its significance. The character's hand glows, absorbing scattered life chi to increase power. The young man gazes at his glowing, blood-speckled hand, questioning if this energy is, quote, vitality. Bathed in brilliant light, the character is engulfed in a powerful, shocking breakthrough. The young man screams in pain, his power overflowing, as green energy surges violently around his blood-splattered face. The character questions in awe if this overwhelming sensation is real internal energy, marking a significant power-up. The protagonist feels incredibly light and powerful, realizing the immense strength gained from absorbing just one person's vitality. The blood-splattered protagonist, wide-eyed, gasps, "My info," hinting at a crucial status update. Surprised, the character sees his new internal energy is 20, noting his opponent's identical previous amount. The young man is amazed by the Elder's unexpected gifts and resolves to acquire more vitality, even without direct kills. The blood-splattered young man wonders about the survivors, spotting one through a glowing interface. Bloodied, the character's eyes widen in stark, intense surprise, revealing a hardened resolve. Jin Seowoon is shocked. Only 24 survivors remain after 5 days, realizing the game's brutal pace. The character, blood-splattered, stares with a confused, "Huh?" gesturing toward a strange phenomenon. Jin Seowoon eliminated Xiaorong with a headshot, reducing survivors to 23. Nam Sagwang eliminated Cal Verstappen through martial arts, further reducing the number of survivors. A character lies defeated and bleeding, eyes wide with shock, marking a brutal end to their struggle. Okay, I will read the text back to you. Please provide the text. Defeated and bleeding, the warrior gasps, "Nam Sagwang," as glowing energy consumes him. A glowing treasure chest appears on the grimy floor, awaiting its discovery and new owner. The speaker notes their opponent's initial attack made them seem formidable, setting expectations for a tough fight. A wooden chest bursts open, revealing bright blue energy within, indicating a newly acquired treasure. The victorious character, splattered with blood, expresses bitter frustration at the seemingly worthless spoils of battle. The character laments many deaths, wondering when this game will end, then spots another, quote, survivor, end quote. The character, surprised, notes there are still 22 survivors, questioning the implications. The bloodstained character wonders if he recognizes the Jin Seowoon from the survival count, triggering a memory. The character identifies Nam Se-gwang as the game's top killer, resolving to absolutely avoid him. The protagonist, covered in blood, laments barely defeating a minor opponent, feeling far from Nam Se-gwang's level. The protagonist resolves to quickly farm resources and escape before the restricted area diminishes further. The protagonist loots a dead opponent's box, finding only a refined troll potion, musing that better items would have prevented their easy defeat. Would you like me to read something else? The character decides to hide and, quote, camp until fewer survivors remain, a strategic move. A majestic mountain range with a distant village glows under the sun, showcasing a vast, potentially dangerous new territory. 1 week later, a menacing, tusked monster with glowing red eyes emerges from the forest. A fierce beast snarls, its eyes glowing, making the narrator realize their initial luck in the game. The speaker laments a lack of worthwhile loot despite trying to farm, as energy pulses from a powerful attack. The hooded character declares his target meal for today, grateful he hasn't met strong enemies due to staying at the forest outskirts. The character, sick of jerky on Cloyd Survival Day 12, longs for better food. Before a humming, glowing hexagonal barrier, the character learns only 20 survivors remain, highlighting the game's brutal intensity. A character's glowing hand goes numb as they exclaim, "Oog!" It's numb, reacting to an intense power influx. The character realizes the immense power makes them unable to move outside, surrounded by glowing hexagonal patterns. For a week, only Nam Se-gwang's kills registered. Everyone, including him, is cautious and hiding. Behind a glowing hexagonal barrier, the character looks confused, uttering, huh, huh. From afar, the character observes a distant, large fight, sensing the unfolding conflict. A character questions an unknown group, "What are you guys?" hinting at a new encounter. The man sighs in exhaustion, finally resting after a period of intense events. Enemies unite, declaring their common goal, to take down the target. A formidable group confronts Nam Se-gwang, declaring his defeat imminent and commanding him to die peacefully. Nam Se-gwang mockingly thanks the mob for gathering, saving him the effort of hunting them individually. Nam Se-gwang grins menacingly, asking if his assailants are ready to die, promising a painful lesson. Luminous full moon reveals a desolate, ruined landscape, a stark aftermath. A new character floats high above the others, preparing to engage in the unfolding conflict. Grab him! Don't let him get away! A fierce battle concludes with a fatal blow, as the victorious character counts 1, signaling another elimination. Nam Se-gwang delivers a devastating, possibly fatal blow to his opponent, ending the fight with a surge of energy. Nam Se-gwang delivers a devastating, potentially fatal blow, concluding the intense fight with raw power. Did I read that back correctly? Damn it, how in just one strike? The injured character's bloody face and wide eye convey shock and dire distress after a devastating blow. Now, 2. An intense, bloody battle erupts as characters clash with powerful, glowing strikes. Nam Se-gwang delivers a brutal, energy-infused blow, blood splattering, as he continues his relentless assault. A brutal energy strike hits a foe, revealing the fight was indiscriminate slaughter, not a fair battle. Here's the text you asked me to read back to you. Think, this panel is a stylistic representation of Nam Se-gwang's rampage. The red background and glowing white/red text, likely a sound effect for a hit, along with the silhouette of Nam Se-gwang and motion lines indicate a violent and overwhelming attack. The dialogue says, "You could tell just by looking at the kill log." Recap. Nam Se-gwang unleashes a brutal, overwhelming attack, indicated by the kill log, leaving a trail of destruction. Nam Se-gwang unleashes a brutal, overwhelming attack, evident by his kill count, leaving a trail of destruction. Is there anything else I can help you with? Nam Se-gwang is the undeniable winner of the game, unless unforeseen events occur. Nam Se-gwang observes his kill log, showing numerous eliminations via martial arts, as the survivor count dwindles. This bastard. The character, shocked by 9 simultaneous kills, questions if their opponent is a lunatic or hacking. Breathing heavily, the blood-splattered character scoffs, HAA! HAA! Bunch of nobodies! Dismissing his defeated opponents. Is there anything else you would like me to read? Nam Sa-gwang complains about the sticky blood, questioning why his enemies struggled instead of dying easily. A glowing weapon emerges from the opened treasure chest. The blood-stained character decides to seek a valley, perhaps for respite or new opportunities. A glowing staff stands ominously amidst scattered treasure chests in a dark, forested landscape. An unseen character's decisive steps echo on a grassy field, setting a new scene in motion. A character confirms finding Elizabeth's staff, hinting at her defeat and the staff's new ownership. The blonde-haired character, holding Elizabeth's staff, vows vengeance on the name of Escrow for Elizabeth's apparent demise. Beneath a bright moon, a stark revelation. Now there are 11 survivors, signaling escalating danger. The young man, armed with a crossbow, resolves to endure a little longer to secure a top 10 ranking. The character reflects on the daytime chaos, suggesting a change in their cautious strategy. To survive against the Lu Bu-like bastard, the character needs to acquire more reliable items. A Lu Bu is defined as the strongest person with immense power or high status in their field. The character observes a grand mansion, realizing it will be outside the restricted area by morning. The hooded character approaches a large building, declaring it the final opportunity for resource farming. The hooded character peers cautiously from behind a door, a subtle sound indicating his stealth. The character peeks through a doorway, wide-eyed and amazed by what they see. The hooded figure ascends a grand staircase, entering a vast, ornate hall, hinting at a new dungeon or objective. The character attempts to equip Royal Guard armor, but lacks the 110 strength, deeming it mere baggage. Jin Seowoon's strength is 30. He laments, "Too bad, standing before armor he can't equip." The character searches for more items, then spots a glowing bag on a bookshelf, exclaiming, "Huh?" The character finds an elixir of insight that boosts internal energy, with a 3-hour cooldown. Use? The character excitedly questions if finding an elixir means he won't need to absorb vitality, wondering if the mansion holds only rare treasures. The character acquires the powerful Secrets of the Unbreakable Fist, a significant boost for combat. The character finds a manual of martial arts, wondering whether to use it. The character realizes using a circle stone or similar item requires 3 hours of hiding, implying a time-sensitive strategy. The hooded character reacts with wide-eyed surprise, indicating a sudden, unexpected development. The hooded character finds a glowing key and questions if it leads to the underground warehouse. A massive fiery explosion erupts, revealing, quote, "something there too," indicating a powerful, unexpected event. Nam Sa-gwang's relentless assault continues, another foe meeting a violent end under his powerful, energy-charged attack. Nam Sa-gwang's fierce, decisive strike continues, eliminating another opponent with brutal efficiency. A powerful, fiery explosion sends a character flying, eliciting a shocked "whoa" from an observer. What the? The character powers through a fiery explosion, teeth gritted, determined to overcome the intense blaze. The character, caught in a massive explosion, screams, "Damn it!" indicating an overwhelming attack and impending doom. A body crashes into foliage, seemingly defeated by a powerful strike. The character resurfaces from foliage, confused, asking what happened after a mysterious impact. The character looks up in utter shock, sweat dripping, uttering, "Ugh!" signaling a massive surprise. The character recognizes the person from the waiting room, indicating a past connection or impending confrontation. The blonde character, amidst a fiery backdrop, acknowledges the opponent's true strength, realizing their survival wasn't mere luck. The blonde character, amidst blazing flames, vows to remember Nam Sa-gwang, hinting at future conflict. What the fuck are you saying? Amidst fire and chaos, the character dismisses their opponent as nothing special if silenced, preparing to strike. The character impatiently demands their opponent attack, stating their time is precious, urging the fight to begin. Nam Sa-gwang, with glowing yellow eyes and a fierce expression, extends a powerful, fiery hand, ready to unleash destruction. The blonde character challenges their opponent with a sneer, daring them to continue their taunts. Nam Sagwang, bloodied and fierce, insults his opponent's talkativeness, eyes burning with anger. The character is shocked to discover the powerful, Lu Bu-like figure causing chaos is merely a young kid. The chapter ends urging readers to Madara scans for more, quoting Madara Uchiha, "Those who abandon their comrades are worse than scum." The chapter ends with a promotional message and a Madara Uchiha quote emphasizing unity. "Alone we fall, together we become unstoppable." Amidst fiery explosions, the wizard-like figure angrily confronts the impudent brat after a powerful attack. The character ominously challenges his foe, daring them to continue speaking as the battle intensifies. The character stares wide-eyed and sweating from the foliage, shocked by the battle's intensity. Escrow, master of the incantation, commands a surge of powerful blue lightning, striking the ground. A character commands Escrow to cast lightning, initiating a powerful magical attack. Nam Sagwang and his opponent clash in an explosive, energy-fueled battle, surrounded by intense light and action. The exasperated combatant, surrounded by lightning, demands to know how long their opponent will keep dodging. The character challenges their opponent, urging them to attack with the same ferocity used against Elizabeth, implying a past conflict. Nam Sagwang grits his teeth amidst an intense attack, clearly enduring immense force as the battle rages. The character recognizes the opponent's terrifying power, something unseen even in the Central Plains, highlighting their exceptional strength. "You rat-like bastard!" Escrow unleashes a torrent of blinding blue lightning from his staff, illuminating the dark scene. Escrow declares he will finish off Nam Sagwang, channeling powerful lightning for a decisive blow. Escrow unleashes a devastating lightning storm from his staff, engulfing the battlefield in crackling blue energy. Nam Sagwang is overwhelmed by Escrow's relentless lightning storm, struggling against the electrifying assault. Nam Sagwang grits his teeth and screams in pain, overwhelmed by the fierce, continuous electrical assault. Nam Sagwang retaliates with a fierce, charged attack, clashing violently with his opponent amidst explosive energy. Escrow unleashes a torrent of blinding blue energy, dominating the battle. Nam Sagwang grins through his wounds, undeterred by the magical onslaught, ready to counter. Escrow unleashes a torrent of blinding blue energy, dominating the battle. The blonde character's eyes narrow in grim determination, indicating a shocking realization or turn of events. Nam Sagwang faces a powerful spellcaster floating above him, ready to unleash their magic. Nam Sagwang retaliates with a potent punch, clashing with the opposing force amidst glowing energy. Escrow, amidst the electric storm, defiantly declares the attacks insufficient, demanding his opponent, "Just die already!" Nam Sagwang lunges forward, unleashing a powerful, fiery attack, seemingly unaffected by Escrow's previous onslaught. Nam Sagwang, his face grim, endures a powerful, unseen force, ready to counter. The elf-like character reacts with alarm, visibly recoiling from a powerful, unseen force. Escrow reveals the chaotic battle to be merely an illusion, hinting at deceptive tactics. Rain falls as the character wonders if it's magic. Nam Sagwang's incredible, overwhelming power affects even the weather. The character observes the rain, realizing his opponent has fled far away, beyond item detection. Escrow, infuriated, screams, "Nam Sagwang!" amidst heavy rain, readying his next attack. The angered opponent, staff in hand, vows to catch and kill his enemy. Breathing heavily in the rain, the character pushes on, determined despite the harsh weather. Nam Sagwang, furious about being ambushed, vows to kill Escrow with his own hands next time. Under a moonlit rainy sky, the character decides to retreat and recover, indicating a temporary pause. Escrow, having missed Nam Sagwang, lands and briefly surveys the area before disappearing. The character attributes their evasion to the Cloak of Invisibility, marking another successful day of survival. Amidst heavy rain, the character deduces Escrow and Nam Sagwang won't pursue, applying the, quote, "darkest under the lamp" idiom. The character, wide-eyed and surprised, exclaims, "Found it!" signifying a successful discovery. Standing over a wooden door in the rain, the character speculates it leads to a vault or hidden dungeon. The character peeks into a dark, seemingly deep stairway, realizing the extent of their descent. The character decides to enter, noting no one else seems to have been inside, implying untouched treasure. The character smirks knowingly, a gleam in his eye, perhaps anticipating the treasures within. The character descends dark stairs with a lantern, grateful for having taken it earlier. The hooded figure surveys abundant hanging provisions and barrels, a successful haul from the farmed house. The protagonist, seeing only food storage, expresses relief mixed with dread about limited farming options remaining. The protagonist's stomach rumbles, realizing his long, desperate diet of tasteless jerky since arriving. 1 hour later, the protagonist, now sated, praises the good meal but wistfully wishes for white rice. The protagonist, feeling full, debates taking an elixir before remembering and retrieving his Book of Martial Arts. The Book of Unbreakable Fists describes Manpage's ultimate never-lose technique, despite his equally balanced win-slash-loss record, now revealed to the protagonist. The protagonist glares at the glowing book, regretting acquiring the seemingly useless Book of Unbreakable Fists. The protagonist resolves to drink the elixir first, delaying martial arts practice despite the book's dubious reputation. The protagonist, despite painful past experiences with Circle Stone, gulps down the mysterious elixir, determined to face whatever comes next. Driven solely by the desire for strength, the protagonist unhesitatingly drinks the elixir, eyes widening in shock as its effects immediately hit. Mana explosively fills the protagonist's lower abdomen, a shocking effect from the elixir. The elixir's potent mana surge makes the protagonist's body go crazy, immobilizing him for 3 expected hours. 3 hours later, the protagonist stirs, disheveled and relieved, questioning if the intense elixir side effects are finally over. The protagonist laments the exhausting 3-hour paralysis, reflecting on a week spent hiding in the forest. The protagonist collapses, overwhelmed by exhaustion, after evading the Great Mage and Namsagwang, marveling at his survival. Night falls as the lantern extinguishes, replaced by a system alert. Cloyd Survival Day 13 inches begins. The old wooden trapdoor violently shattered, revealing a debris-strewn passage below. The trapdoor cracks open with an ominous creak, revealing a dark abyss below. The protagonist, recognizing his dangerous location, acknowledges being caught in the restricted area and accepts his survivor status. The system shows 10 survivors left, surprising the protagonist, as another was eliminated overnight. The protagonist cries, "What?" in utter shock, realizing another survivor was eliminated overnight. The system reveals Jung Do-cheon's shocking suicide, leaving the protagonist distraught about the old man's tragic fate. The protagonist speculates Jang Do-cheon chose a ridiculous, no-risk training method, eyeing a mysterious, glowing chest. The protagonist laments being in the top 10 due to Jang Do-cheon's suicide, believing no other reason would explain his death. Blue hexagonal energy pulses enveloping the scene as the survival system activates. The protagonist stresses over the shrinking map, realizing he must escape the restricted area to avoid elimination and reach the top 10. The protagonist sharply turns, the hexagon grid of the shrinking map glowing around him as he moves to escape. The protagonist runs, crossbow in hand, resolving to avoid combat and prolong his survival in the shrinking game area. The protagonist sprints, crossbow ready, knowing avoiding combat is his only path to rising in rank as a, quote, powerless survivor. The protagonist stares in shock as a swift, glowing orange object impacts the ground nearby with a resounding thud. The impact detonates a blinding golden explosion, engulfing the forest with raw force. A shocked protagonist kneels amidst rising dust, demanding, "What the? Where did that come from?" A powerful mage casts that devastating fireball, leaving the protagonist stunned. The protagonist's face twists in a mix of surprise and apprehension as he wonders, could it be? A white-robed figure stands amidst a scorched, snowy landscape, unfazed by the fiery devastation. A calm, elf-eared mage extends a hand, their gaze intense, ready to confront the chaos. The protagonist exclaims, "ESKRO," recognizing the powerful mage responsible for the sudden attack. Escrow's item detection activated, but the face she saw was entirely new, not Nam Se-kwang. Distracted by newfound inner energy, the protagonist realizes their swift movements led to a blunder. The protagonist, sweating with regret, scolds himself for neglecting his surroundings, calling himself an idiot. Escrow, with staff in hand, questions the protagonist about Nam Se-kwang's whereabouts, hinting at a larger mystery. The tall mage threatens the protagonist, implying consequences if he doesn't reveal information. Escrow delivers a chilling ultimatum: reveal Nam Se-kwang's location, or die. Escrow's face twists into a chilling, confident smirk after his threat. Escrow fiercely demands Nam Se-kwang's location, threatening to kill the protagonist if he fails to provide it. The protagonist indignantly refutes Escrow's sudden demand, asserting he wouldn't know Nam Se-kwang's location. The protagonist stares in shock, stunned by Escrow's menacing ultimatum. The protagonist is violently launched skyward, as Escrow calmly observes. Escrow demands information, stating he's only asking due to perceived familiarity, otherwise he'll simply kill them. Escrow fiercely blasts the protagonist with a blinding blue energy burst, sending him flying. Escrow questions if the protagonist was hiding, while the protagonist, fully recovered, taunts Escrow about low mana. A shocked protagonist urgently questions where Nam Se-kwang suddenly appeared from. Escrow, with glowing yellow eyes and a menacing grin, declares, "I'll end this now," unleashing a powerful energy punch. Escrow and the protagonist clash mid-air, their combined magical forces creating a powerful, explosive impact. Escrow, confident a simple attack couldn't harm him, suddenly bleeds profusely, eyes wide with shock. The protagonist, with a menacing grin, asks the wounded Escrow, "Ever heard of Gengi?" hinting at his unique fighting style. The protagonist unleashes Shugang, a rare martial art, regretting he must use it in this world. The protagonist, with a chilling smirk, tells the Archmage to consider it an honor as he unveils his secret technique. Escrow screams in agony as a brutal attack sends blood splattering from his face. Escrow clutches his bloody chest, gasping in pain as the protagonist taunts his inability to cast spells. The protagonist taunts his powerful opponent, saying they could have been top 5, but now they'll regret meeting him. The protagonist observes Nam Se-kwang confronting Escrow, wondering if his timely appearance is a stroke of luck. Seeing an opening, the protagonist resolves to quickly escape while others fight. The protagonist, still shocked by the intense combat, mentally urges his opponent to just die already as the fierce impact rages. Escrow cries, "K-E-O-K!" in agony as a powerful attack sends blood spraying from his face. The protagonist violently strikes Escrow, sending blood and blue energy exploding from the impact. Escrow's face contorts in pain, blood streaming from his mouth and the side of his head. Watching Archmage Escrow, who seemed invincible, fall miserably to Nam Se-kwang was shocking. Nam Se-kwang, with an intense glare and glowing hand, prepares for his next powerful move. A realization dawns, eclipsing the protagonist's fear of Nam Se-kwang and pity for Escrow. The protagonist's eyes widen as a crucial realization about the fight, and his situation strikes him. The protagonist wonders how much stronger he could become by absorbing the life force of his enemies. Nam Se-kwang mocks the defeated Escrow, whose magical energy still flickers, asking for last words before realizing he silenced him. Escrow glares, bloodied and silent, as his magical energy shatters around him. The bloodied protagonist hears a voice accusing him of killing Elizabeth, their cherished disciple, and questions who is speaking. Escrow recalls his cherished female disciple, Elizabeth, unjustly expelled from university. His eyes reflect deep sorrow and past pain. The blood-splattered protagonist dismisses the idea of killing a girl, wondering if Elizabeth looked like a man. Escrow, with blood on his chin, menacingly declares he'll shut that filthy mouth of the protagonist. The protagonist's glowing yellow eye, now splattered with blood, narrows with intense, predatory focus. "What did you say?" The protagonist's eye widens in silent shock, a sudden, powerful realization hitting him. Hold on, realizing a crucial detail. The protagonist, amidst fiery scenery, stares in wide-eyed shock, questioning, what is that? A colossal, blinding explosion of orange energy rips through the sky. A massive, blinding explosion erupts, engulfing the protagonist in fiery shock. The protagonist stares in stunned shock, gasping, "Meteor!" Escrow is consumed by a massive, fiery explosion, hinting at his imminent defeat. A blinding, fiery explosion intensifies, unleashing a powerful, destructive force across the panel. The protagonist, covered in blood and sweat, rages in confusion. How the hell did this bastard do it without casting spells? The Archmage unleashes a desperate final spell, sacrificing mana and life force. Escrow, unleashing his ultimate spell Armageddon, creates a devastating fiery explosion. Namsa-kwang, injured and enraged, yells, "This crazy bastard!" as he attacks a figure consumed by a fiery explosion. The protagonist, engulfed in a fiery explosion, screams, "Aish, I should have just run away sooner." Elizabeth, it was good to see you after so long. Escrow is consumed by his unleashed Armageddon spell, engulfed in a blinding, destructive light. The explosive brilliance of Armageddon consumes everything, hinting at Escrow's sacrifice. Okay, I will read the text back to you. Please provide the text. Okay, I will read the text back to you. Here it is. The final, bold message promises an inevitable future encounter. The mysterious glowing chest crackles violently, radiating intense fiery light and energy. A blinding, fiery energy bursts across the scene, filling the panel with intense light and motion. The battlefield is consumed by a massive, fiery explosion as Escrow's Armageddon detonates with overwhelming force. Escrow gazes at the massive, fiery explosion, his final, desperate attack engulfing the landscape. Escrow, amidst the fiery chaos, ponders his opponent's power, wondering if he can use such high-caliber magic. The character realizes the powerful magic user's true identity. The protagonist is gasping and staggering, caught in the aftermath of a powerful magical assault. The protagonist collapses, cursing himself for not escaping sooner, blaming his struggle on the damn life force. The injured protagonist, clutching a glowing purple object, vows, "I can't die so pathetically like this," as he struggles to rise. The protagonist desperately tears a healing scroll with his teeth, resolving not to die, leveraging his farmed resources. The protagonist barely escapes the fight, acknowledging the elixir's crucial role in his survival. The protagonist clutches a healing scroll, sweating in pain, realizing one isn't enough to fully recover. The protagonist slowly rises, his body still glowing with residual healing energy. Amidst shattered debris, the protagonist, relieved after healing, finally breathes a sigh of relief. Gotta survive. A system, DDIRING, confirms the protagonist's survivor status, updating him on the brutal game. The system confirms Escrow's death. The protagonist regrets not absorbing his life force, but accepts it. The protagonist is shocked, questioning why there's no kill log for Namsa-kwang, fearing he's still alive. The distressed protagonist cries out, "Essa, save M," desperately pleading for help amidst the chaos. The protagonist follows a rustling sound into the lush forest, believing he's found his next target. Startled by rustling, the protagonist desperately pleads, "Please, isn't anyone there?" The protagonist's eye widens drastically in silent, shocked realization. Namsa-kwang, heavily wounded, desperately struggles with a scroll, refusing to die pathetically. The protagonist realizes that if Namsa-kwang's arms are unusable after dodging the meteor, he can't use healing scrolls. The wounded Namsa-kwang, unable to tear his own healing scroll, desperately pleads with the protagonist for help. "You're Namsa-kwang, right?" Namsa-kwang, heavily bloodied and with wide, terrified eyes, is utterly shocked by the protagonist's revelation. The protagonist, once wondering at Namsa-kwang's strength, expresses shock and disappointment at his current defeated state. Injured Nam Sa-kwang desperately pleads with the protagonist, offering to make him the winner if he's helped. Nam Sa-kwang, from below, asserts making someone a winner is nothing if he gets help. Nam Sa-kwang challenges the protagonist's assumption, questioning if he truly believes he can win alone by killing him. The protagonist considers claiming Nam Sa-kwang's magical items and life force, hinting at his new plan. The protagonist, eyes glowing with grim determination, vows to become the Liu Bu of this game. Nam Sa-kwang screams in defiance, warning his attacker of other powerful threats, eyes wide with desperation. Nam Sa-kwang screams in desperation, admitting he lacks items, and his martial arts weren't acquired here. The protagonist's chilling thought, you should at least know the name of the person who's killing you. Jin Seowoon reveals his name, while Nam Sa-kwang, eyes wide with fear, fears this time he will die. Nam Sa-kwang screams Jin Seowoon's name, vowing never to forget him before succumbing to the fatal blow. The protagonist plunges his sword into Nam Sa-kwang's chest, finishing the desperate fight in a burst of red light. The protagonist sighs, feeling guilty that Nam Sa-kwang, despite looking like a child, had to die. A silent ellipsis and question mark indicates the protagonist's confused surprise. Jin Seowoon, subtly glowing, considers his next ruthless move after the brutal fight. Jin Seowoon's eye glows, subtly activating his power for the next ruthless move. The protagonist glows with mana, eyes wide, extending his hand as he prepares a decisive, power-infused move. Oh, an incredible amount of life force. Jin Seowoon grins, a menacing light in his eyes, as he declares immense internal energy surging from Nam Sa-kwang's demise. A DDIRING signals a system update as a survivor notification appears, possibly for the protagonist. Is there anything else I can help you with? DDIRING. Alert reveals the survivor count has chillingly dropped to 8/100ths. An armored warrior stands resolute against a vast sky, weapon held firm, ready for the next challenge. A system notification reveals Jin Seowoon's chill with longsword skill, as a male character observes, "Is there anything else you would like me to read?" The fox-eared archer observes from a tree, noting, "Now that the tiger is dead, the foxes will run rampant." The new warrior, possibly a ranger, takes a knee, calmly observing the chaotic situation. The protagonist, energized by an enormous internal power, confidently believes he can now hold his own against anyone. The protagonist stares intently at Nam Sa-kwang's glowing box, considering its contents. The protagonist opens a glowing box, musing on Nam Sa-kwang's strength and hoping it's not empty, contradicting his zero farming claim. The protagonist opens the box, revealing a brilliant green glow within. The protagonist, with wide, shocked eyes, gasps, "TH! This is," at the mysterious, glowing contents. Kaiser's ring, promising a massive increase in agility. The protagonist, surrounded by mystical rings, obtains Dreamer's Ring Strength, Galen's Ring Stamina, and Toha's Ring Magic Resistance. DIRING. Alert highlights Toha's Ring, indicating a massive increase in magic resistance. Jin Seowoon, now adorned with multiple glowing rings, criticizes Nam Sa-kwang for boasting while relying heavily on rare farmed items. The protagonist stares with wide, panicked eyes, gasping, "Oh!" as his body crackles with energy. The protagonist confidently activates his My Info screen, accessing his updated stats. A DDIRING reveals Jin Seowoon's impressive stats, a martial artist/mage with high strength, stamina, agility, and magic resistance. The protagonist, boosted by new rings, declares victory is absolutely guaranteed. Looking confidently at his info screen, beyond rings, the protagonist found many books of martial arts, but he couldn't learn them, likely due to missing prerequisite cultivation techniques. The protagonist, amidst sun-dappled foliage, senses an approaching presence, a new threat, perhaps. A new threat is rapidly approaching the protagonist. The protagonist's eyes widen, shocked by the command, "Escrow Core, fire." The protagonist, engulfed in fiery explosions, stares up as he prepares for strike. The cloaked figure, annoyed, criticizes the protagonist for his clueless approach to farming. A character ridicules the protagonist for falling for a surprise attack, dismissing his victory over Nam Seowoon as pure luck. The mysterious man with dark makeup and a pink tie calmly grips his weapon, energy crackling around him. What is it? Jin Seowoon, surprised by a flash, checks his stats, confirming his magic resistance is 90. Jin Seowoon begins to walk forward, the subtle glow of his new powers surrounding him. The cloaked man warns the protagonist to back off or face a stronger spell, threatening him with a charged staff. It won't work though. The protagonist, engulfed in a massive explosion, prepares for impact, hinting at a powerful counter. A shadowy figure with a staff launches into a powerful, fiery attack. The protagonist with glowing rings, eyes fierce, prepares to unleash a fiery, devastating attack. The protagonist, surrounded by fiery energy, declares his intent to begin Peerless Fist, Chapter 1. The cloaked figure unleashes a powerful, straight-severing fist surrounded by blue energy, aiming to strike his opponent. The defeated character screams in pain and shock, blood spewing from his mouth amidst shattered blue energy. The cloaked figure's attack shatters into glowing fragments, stunning the protagonist, who had low expectations for this martial art. The protagonist questions if a martial art's power depends on internal energy, realizing his newfound strength transforms even weak techniques. The cloaked adversary groans "Kurg" in pain as the protagonist unleashes a powerful punch, seemingly turning the tide. A system update confirms 7 survivors remain, as Jin Seowoon defeats the cloaked figure with a devastating sword technique. The protagonist notices his high magic resistance, making even powerful spells ineffective against him. With Nam Seowoon dead, the protagonist realizes those watching are now emerging from hiding. The protagonist stands alert in a moonlit forest, anticipating a long night of intense encounters. The cloaked figure's body is enveloped in a powerful, slicing energy, indicating a swift, impactful attack. The protagonist, fueled by newfound power, confidently smiles, ready to imitate the Elder's lightness skill. The protagonist expresses gratitude to Elder, vowing, "I will definitely win." An hour later, the full moon casts an eerie blue glow over the silent, mountainous landscape. The bright full moon illuminates the dark forest, hinting at the night's ongoing danger. A shadowy figure quietly ascends a tree, scaling it with ease under the glow of the full moon. A transparent, glowing figure calls out to Jin Seowoon, inviting him to stop hiding and, quote, play together. The protagonist, cloaked in glowing energy, is startled by a loud voice, recognizing Jihark as a, quote, pretty useful mage. The new male character challenges the protagonist, urging him to fight like a man, implying cowardice. A new challenger shouts, calling other participants cowardly bastards and demanding they reveal themselves. Stark, a confident warrior in armor, challenges hidden opponents, proclaiming they're hiding because they fear him. Stark, the powerful warrior, lunges forward with his massive sword, ready for battle. Stark, the determined warrior, advances with a confident smirk, ready for battle. Stark unleashes a powerful, sweeping attack with his longsword, enveloped in a fierce blue aura. The warrior's fierce attack courses with bright blue energy. The armored warrior denounces a cowardly sneak attack, demanding a fair fight, while the protagonist questions if it was an arrow. The protagonist's glowing aura flickers as he demands WHOISIT, reacting to the sudden challenge. The protagonist realizes his current opponent is the only one capable of imbuing and shooting such a powerful, aura-filled arrow. The armored warrior identifies the mysterious archer Juro Kuwana, perched ominously on a tree branch, as a new threat. Juro Kuwana moves swiftly, her legs crackling with blue energy, disappearing into the mystical forest. Juro Kuwana challenges the protagonist, "Do you know me?" To which the protagonist scoffs, "No, isn't that obvious?" The warrior challenges Juro Kuwana, acknowledging her legendary status and questioning her goal to win the competition. Stark proposes a temporary alliance to Juro Kuwana, suggesting they join hands to take out Jin Seowoon first. Jiro ponders. Jiro sprints gracefully through the luminous blue environment, initiating pursuit. Stenko, a mercenary from the guild, introduces himself to Jiro, acknowledging her good judgment in the fight. Stenko, a well-known mercenary, confidently assures Jiro she won't regret their alliance. Jiro, with a knowing gaze, simply states, "Understood," agreeing to Stenko's proposal. Stenko insults the divine archer Jiro, calling her useless. Jiro, signaling with her fingers, doubts her timing, correcting herself from 2 seconds to 1. Jiro, eyes narrowed, declares, an archer shouldn't make the mistake of giving distance, as she closes in on the surprised warrior. Stark glares down at the defeated opponent, demanding they spit out your gear and die already in a decisive blow. Stark and Jiro clash, their weapons meeting in a blur of blue energy. Stark is suddenly struck by a powerful blue energy blast, sending him reeling. The cloaked figure strikes, spraying blood and energy as their opponent falls, caught off guard. Jiro scoffs at the idea of cooperating with a minion, dismissing the suggestion as laughable. Thinking he wasted time, the cloaked figure prioritizes finding Jin Seowoon. With only 6 survivors remaining, every individual's vitality is crucial, increasing the stakes. Come on, hurry and become my internal energy. Jiro stares intently forward, her expression unreadable as she disappears into the shadows. Jiro, eyes sharp, stands ready with her bow, surrounded by a luminous blue aura. Jiro, with an indifferent gaze, observes the unfolding battle. The protagonist, cloaked in glowing energy, is shocked, questioning how his concealment skill was detected. The protagonist sweats, shocked by the archer's unexpected detection, questioning if he possesses unknown abilities beyond archery. The protagonist curses his overextension, realizing his focus on vitality made him vulnerable. Jiro, eyes narrowed, dismisses the protagonist as trash, assuming his items are equally worthless. Jiro observes, dismissing the protagonist as just a burden for their strategy. Jiro calmly walks past the protagonist, suggesting he'll be a burden, seemingly ignoring the hidden figure above. The cloaked figure senses a disturbance, noting his opponent's strangely good sense. The protagonist, clad in white sneakers and rings, stands calmly, observing his surroundings in the ethereal glow. The protagonist sweats, questioning if the enemy's name was Jiro, confirming a new, dangerous opponent. Jiro, bow ready, surveys the frosty, illuminated forest, ready for her next move. The character recognizes his next opponent is the mysterious figure, preparing for the inevitable clash. The chapter concludes, urging readers to Madara Uchiha's quote on unity and where to find more of the story. The blue hexagonal game boundary begins shrinking, pushing contestants towards each other. The protagonist, now one of 6 survivors, questions if the shrinking boundary speeds up as fewer remain, with 87 days left. The protagonist gasps, "Oh!" in realization, as a hooded figure appears in the distance across a glowing, grass-filled landscape. The protagonist is shocked to find an unexpected wide-open area amidst the dense environment. The protagonist, concealed in tall grass, fears fighting here will draw unwanted attention from others. Green energy blasts across the panel, indicating a swift, powerful attack. The protagonist, startled by a sound, questions it as a sudden green attack blurs into view. The glowing protagonist deftly evades multiple green energy arrows fired through the tall grass. A powerful green energy blast streaks across the panel, leaving a vibrant trail. The protagonist's face fills with determination as he's caught between an incoming green arrow and a magical force. Green energy pulses and blazes across the panel, symbolizing a powerful and dynamic magical attack. A green glowing object rapidly approaches the protagonist, tearing through the air with immense force. The protagonist, surrounded by luminous mana, realizes he's a target for a precise magic spell. The protagonist questions how enemies detected his location despite his concealment, which should be impenetrable to detection magic. Green energy swirls menacingly around the protagonist, signaling an impending attack or power activation. The protagonist, glowing, prepares for another incoming attack, exclaiming, "Here it comes again!" The protagonist realizes avoiding the numerous incoming green energy attacks is impossible. The protagonist dodges the green magical attacks, anticipating the next move. The protagonist, cornered and defiant, resolves to trust his internal energy, having nothing left to lose. The protagonist activates Mujol Quan Chapter 1, delivering an extreme straight punch filled with fierce determination. The protagonist unleashes a powerful fist imbued with swirling blue energy, shattering the green incoming attack. The protagonist's foot pounds the ground, glowing energy swirling around him, indicating a powerful, rapid maneuver. Blue energy surges and explodes across the panel, signifying a powerful magical clash. The protagonist leaps into action, shrouded in glowing blue energy, preparing for a powerful offensive move. The protagonist looks at his glowing rings, surprised, questioning if he is stronger than he initially thought. The protagonist swiftly dodges the powerful energy, a hint of his enhanced agility. The protagonist resolves to pinpoint the enemy's location amidst the energetic environment before proceeding. The protagonist leaps into the air, enveloped in a swirling blue aura, ready to strike. The protagonist stares in silent shock, utterly surprised by an unexpected turn of events. "Hey, so you were hiding there." The new character stares up at the distant, cloaked antagonist, questioning his unknown abilities. A frustrated spellcaster stares in disbelief, shocked his full mana attack was neutralized so easily. The protagonist, startled, yells, "Hey! Wait a minute," as he tries to halt the mysterious approaching figure. A blade slices across, drawing blood and revealing a brutal attack. A shocked, bleeding character stares in disbelief, questioning, huh, and "How did this happen?" after a sudden attack. One character, bleeding from his mouth, laments missing a presence, while another criticizes him for not saving mana for detection or a barrier. The assassin, a stick in his mouth, coldly tells his bleeding victim that erasing his presence is easy, then bids them to go peacefully. A figure collapses under a powerful blue energy, surrounded by glowing particles. DDIRING alert shows the survivor count has dropped to a critical 5/100ths. The protagonist's glowing feet lightly touch the water's surface as he moves with enhanced agility. "You must be Jin Seowoon." The cloaked figure, holding a unique curved weapon, responds to the protagonist's question, "Of course," implying a shared history or renown. The character reveals the protagonist eliminated Nam Sagwang, a public enemy, explaining why he knew his identity. The protagonist, wearing multiple rings, realizes all remaining survivors are desperately trying to catch him. The assassin coldly tells his opponent to die peacefully, boasting that he's never missed a target. The assassin moves swiftly through the water, leaving glowing trails as they pursue their target. "Hand over everything and die." The assassin charges forward, cloaked in glowing energy, ready to attack. The protagonist unleashes a swift, powerful punch, surrounded by a radiant blue aura. The assassin lunges, declaring his opponent too slow, initiating a swift attack. The assassin clashes with his target, leaving a trail of blood and debris as the powerful strike impacts. The assassin lunges forward, a blur of motion, weapon drawn, and eyes focused on his target. The protagonist launches a blood-splattered punch, his expression grim, delivering a decisive blow in the fight. The character expresses surprise, admitting the opponent is tougher than I thought after failing to easily defeat them. The protagonist realizes he'd be dead without his internal energy defense, facing a masked assassin with a curved blade. The protagonist acknowledges his opponent's immense strength, setting the stage for a challenging fight. The assassin confidently asserts his target's death is inevitable, boasting of his flawless record in night assassinations. The protagonist sweats nervously, realizing he must now face an assassin after only ever dealing with mages. The protagonist, eyes wide with the realization, links the darkness to a specific threat or ability. The assassin, wielding dual curved blades, confidently declares, "Now I'll finish you," amidst a blue glow. The assassin's weapon drops, followed by a piece of equipment, indicating he has fallen. The protagonist, wounded and defiant, grimly watches as the assassin vanishes into thin air. The assassin dramatically attacks, closing in on the protagonist with a fierce, determined expression. The assassin, shocked, is praised for his impressive stealth, even as he's caught. The assassin, shocked, yells, "Where are you?" as he's told his stealth is inferior to the cloak of stealth. The protagonist's gloved hand clenches, surrounded by a faint glow, preparing for action. The assassin boasts of tracking his opponent's energy, then reacts with shocked fury, realizing an attack came from behind. The protagonist, with a defiant expression, challenges his opponent, echoing their previous threat. "You said you'd finish me?" The assassin screams, blood trickling from his mouth as he is knocked back, losing his composure. The character groans, "UGHHRHHH," in intense pain from an unseen impact, signaling significant damage. A character screams, questioning their opponent's ability to win alone and proposing cooperation for first place. The red chack sound effect emphasizes a sudden, powerful blow, sending blood splattering against the panel. DDIRING signals 4 survivors remain, as Jin Seowoon eliminates Tamarin with a chilling sword technique. The protagonist, reading a scroll, reveals he absorbed 2 people's life energy and used their scrolls to recover. Amidst the commotion, the protagonist describes quickly looting and attempting to escape the area. The protagonist, holding a glowing purple book, acknowledges the assassin had unexpectedly powerful items. A system prompt offers to teach the protagonist Scroll of Spirit-Wielding Illusion Step, allowing him to create clones based on internal energy. The protagonist, reading his glowing book, is relieved his opponent couldn't wield internal energy. The character admits that if his opponent had mastered the lost technique, winning would have been difficult. The protagonist discovers Carmen's Eye, a supreme detection magic from the dead man's box, but can't learn it due to low circle. The protagonist discovers his cloak of stealth isn't invincible, realizing that's how his enemy tracked him. The protagonist blocks a glowing yellow attack with his sword, his expression grim. The protagonist, illuminated by a glowing spear, clutches a book and reacts in surprise, realizing an arrow was fired. The protagonist sweats, realizing the arrow user must be among the remaining survivors, and he's not easily detectable. The protagonist dodges a powerful blue magical attack, holding his glowing book, narrowly escaping. The protagonist, confused, questions the unfamiliar magic, wondering if it's from an unknown ability of the archer he encountered earlier. The protagonist, realizing he can't dodge, focuses all his internal energy into a single, decisive punch. The protagonist unleashes Mujul Quan, a powerful technique, into the opponent's body. The protagonist unleashes an extreme, straight punch, blasting his opponent with concentrated blue energy. A powerful blue energy blast impacts the ground, shattering it into glowing debris. The protagonist unleashes a powerful blue energy blast, sending debris flying and pushing his opponents back. The protagonist, facing 2 simultaneous attacks, questions if his opponents are coordinating their efforts. The protagonist, sweating nervously, turns sharply, his cloak swaying, indicating quick movement amidst the glowing blue environment. The character concedes, indeed he's quite strong, acknowledging his opponent's power. A powerful, mustache-twirling figure unleashes a radiant golden punch, surrounded by intense energy. The protagonist unleashes a powerful ground-shattering attack, glowing with blue energy as he moves to counter. The protagonist realizes he's facing a, quote, 3-person party in a solo game, a strategic act of teamwork. Your luck ends here. A cloaked figure stands, his cape billowing, casting an imposing shadow on the ground. 3 powerful individuals are revealed: Centurk, King of Fressen, Gyron, the Demon King's right hand, and Jiroana, the Divine Archer. Jin Seowoon stands alone, exasperated and defeated, questioning his next move after a significant challenge. The new warrior declares, "Jin Seowoon, your luck ends here," as he and two allies confront the protagonist under a snowy blue sky. The protagonist curses his opponents for teaming, realizing the fastest way to win is to force them to betray each other. The definition of teaming is explained: multiple players forming a team while disregarding game rules. The protagonist grimly admits he can't understand the motives of these unfamiliar opponents. A new, hooded figure with sharp claws gracefully lands and addresses the King of Carson with honor. The king questions a black mage's audacity. The mage apologizes, stating survival is more important than status here. The protagonist questions if cooperating with a scoundrel is worth better rewards, realizing this teaming wasn't planned. The armored king suggests the hooded figure deal with the protagonist's troublesome stealth, which the figure declares is a piece of cake. A bandaged hand with sharp claws crackles with radiant golden energy, preparing for a powerful attack. The character recoils from a blinding flash, questioning, "WH, what is this?" Clearly overwhelmed, the character grits his teeth, sweating in agony amidst swirling particles, enduring the brutal attack. The character unleashes a blinding light, declaring, "Now there is no darkness for you to hide in," illuminating the surrounding area. The protagonist, adjusting his hood, realizes the assassin's light detection method is possible, stunned by the unexpected trick. The character realizes the cloak of stealth has a weakness: it only conceals in darkness. The cloaked figure wanted to thank Namsagwang for eliminating escrow, a persistent nuisance. The demonic figure, frustrated about a failed message, declares it's time for his opponent to die, in the great demon lord's name. The skeletal figure unleashes a powerful purple energy attack, shattering the ground in an explosive burst of force. The armored figure activates Kare Ayas, Blade, Dark Blade Storm, preparing a formidable attack. The protagonist grits his teeth, recalling that mages are typically vulnerable in close combat. The cloaked figure unleashes a powerful purple magic, confident that getting close will disrupt opponents' spellcasting. The cloaked figure declares an ultra-close combat strategy, charging forward with glowing blue energy. The cloaked figure attacks, sneering, "Foolish brute! Just die!" as purple energy emanates from his clawed hand. The cloaked figure attacks with a powerful purple energy, sending debris flying and narrowly missing the protagonist. The protagonist concentrates internal energy, glowing purple, around his body to minimize damage from the incoming attack. The voice demands Jin Seowoon somehow break through and get close, emphasizing the urgency of a direct confrontation. The protagonist screams, "Ugh!" as blood splatters from a severe attack, engulfed in purple energy. DDIRING alert states the Cloak of Stealth is damaged, losing its function until repaired. The protagonist is in agony, as his internal energy shatters, and even his protective cloak breaks under the intense assault, signaling his dire situation. The hooded antagonist observes the dissipating purple energy, confidently assuming the protagonist has been utterly obliterated, with no remains. Swirling purple energy dominates the panel, depicting the lingering, destructive power of the recent devastating attack. The hooded antagonist, with his skull-like face, menacingly declares, "Severing Fist!" Chapter 1, revealing the name of his technique and escalating the battle. A devastating purple-hued punch rips through the air, delivering a powerful strike that suggests a relentless assault by the antagonist. The injured protagonist is sent hurtling, his tattered cloak flailing, as he desperately unleashes a counterattack called Straight Cut Fist! The hooded antagonist is powerfully struck and sent spiraling through the air, clearly reeling from the protagonist's desperate counterattack. The protagonist, bloodied and enraged, channels surging purple energy, his fierce expression reflecting an unyielding determination despite grievous injuries. The hooded antagonist confidently taunts the protagonist, "You foolish brat, give up," as he activates his menacing Chaos Deadman hands. Massive skeletal hands, formed from dark purple energy, erupt from the ground, demonstrating the horrifying power of the antagonist's new technique. The colossal Chaos Deadman hands violently crush the ground, erupting in a devastating purple impact, indicating a powerful, overwhelming attack. Battered and surrounded by purple energy, the protagonist grimly acknowledges this is an opponent on a completely different level, realizing his immense struggle. The hooded antagonist blurs across the panel, a streak of purple energy, showcasing his surprising speed and agility amidst the chaos. Bloodied but defiant, the protagonist prepares a new counter, invoking Spirit Illusion Steps to evade or disrupt the deadly attack. The protagonist's form shimmers and distorts into streaks of purple, successfully activating Spirit Illusion Steps to evade the crushing blow. The hooded antagonist is utterly shocked, exclaiming, "What? You can use illusion magic too? Troublesome tricks," realizing the protagonist's hidden abilities. The protagonist charges fiercely, proclaiming, "With this, my victory is complete," as he prepares a desperate, final strike against the antagonist. The hooded antagonist recoils in alarm, desperately attempting to invoke a B barrier, caught off guard by the protagonist's sudden, fierce counterattack. Suddenly, Senruoku, an armored warrior, appears, unleashing a formidable piercing aura, dramatically intervening in the climax. Senruoku brutally attacks the hooded antagonist from behind, a shocking betrayal as blood splatters, leaving the protagonist stunned. The hooded antagonist, bleeding and shocked, reels from the betrayal, gasping, "WH what? The one who calls himself king. So vile," bewildered by Senruoku's attack. Senruoku confidently dismisses the dying antagonist, declaring no greater justification than victory as he reveals his planned betrayal. Senruoku, the armored warrior, coldly thanks the dying antagonist. "I will thank you for helping me eliminate a nuisance," revealing his ruthless nature. Senruoku confronts a mysterious archer on a cliff under the night sky, realizing with surprise, "So, it's just the two of us left?" Senruoku recognizes the archer as Divine Archer Zurokana, a formidable past enemy, pondering the strange twist that brings them to a duel. Divine Archer Zurokana smirks confidently, stating, "It doesn't seem to be just yet," hinting at further unseen developments in the battle. Senruoku, confused by Zurokana's words, is suddenly shocked as the bloodied protagonist, thought eliminated, reappears ominously behind him. The bloodied protagonist unleashes a furious, powerful punch directly onto Senruoku, enacting swift revenge for the betrayal, defying his demise. Senruoku reels violently from the protagonist's surprise punch, purple energy exploding on impact, demonstrating the unexpected force of the blow. Senruoku is sent spiraling high into the night sky from the protagonist's powerful, vengeful punch, signifying a major turning point. Senruoku crashes down in a powerful burst of blue energy, violently impacting the ground after the protagonist's surprise attack. The sheer force creates a massive thud, confirming the blow's devastating effect. Trapped by a strange, blue, water-like energy, Senruoku is frozen in place, unable to move as the unexpected ability binds him instantly. A new, exhausted female combatant arrives, panting, "Ha! Ha!" She triumphantly declares, "F finally, top 2, implying she's observing the final contenders. Divine Archer Zurokana observes the bloodied protagonist, acknowledging his survival. "I thought you died by Senruoku's sword, but it seems it was an illusion," Zurokana realizes. The enraged protagonist snaps, "Stop spouting nonsense and come at me, Zurokana." Zurokana calmly retorts, "Why is everyone in such a hurry?" maintaining his composure. Divine Archer Zurokana cleverly diverts the protagonist's attention, suggesting, "It looks like that person clearly has business with you before me, doesn't it?" Senruoku, recovering from the surprise attack, curses the protagonist, "TH, this damn bastard, using such unpleasant tricks." Senruoku, his armor shattered, grudgingly acknowledges the protagonist's power. "I definitely saw it pierce through. And such strength. Impressive." The enraged, bloodied protagonist defiantly challenges both opponents. "Stop talking and come at me. Want to come one by one? OR, together?" Senruoku's expression darkens as he ominously declares, "You will regret making me give my best," preparing to unleash his full power. The protagonist's eyes widen in shock, exclaiming, "F.A. fast," as Senruroku demonstrates incredible, blinding speed, catching him off guard. Senruroku, moving at incredible speed, unleashes a fierce counterattack, striking the protagonist with a powerful sword blow amidst a burst of blue energy. Senruroku confidently declares, "I, S.E. Nuruoku, am confident that I won't lose to anyone when it comes to speed," highlighting his prowess. Senruroku reveals his strategic precision, explaining he aimed for the protagonist's ligaments to disable his hand and prevent him from using his two-handed techniques. What? This guy wasn't a strength character? Speed's so great I can barely sense his chi? The protagonist, severely wounded, reflects on his struggle. "I can't lose like this. How did I get all the way up here?" refusing to surrender. The protagonist's resolve hardens, declaring, "No, it's still too early to give up. I'll trust the internal energy within me," preparing for a desperate counter. A powerful Kwang sound effect accompanies a sudden surge of blue energy, indicating the protagonist has unleashed his internal power in a desperate move. Senruroku is utterly shocked and sweating, exclaiming, "What? How dare you, my rapier?" as his weapon is mysteriously affected. The protagonist's severely bleeding arm pulses with surging purple energy, a tu sound emphasizing the painful transformation, as he taps into a dangerous new power. The protagonist, with a surge of blue energy, unleashes the devastating Black Annihilation Hand, striking Senruroku with overwhelming force. The overwhelming impact of the protagonist's Black Annihilation Hand continues, the scene blurring with incredible speed and destructive force. Senruroku, now wounded on his face, glares furiously at the protagonist, exclaiming, "How dare you wound my face?" prioritizing his vanity. The bloodied protagonist, still glowing with blue energy, stands defiantly, showing an unyielding spirit despite his grievous injuries, ready to continue the fight. Senruroku observes the bloodied protagonist, remarking, "You insist on struggling to the very end, huh?" noting his relentless perseverance. Senruroku, grimacing fiercely, activates his devastating new technique, Aura Blade, Formless Sword, a golden blade of pure energy, escalating the battle further. Wielding his glowing Aura Blade, Senruroku grudgingly acknowledges the protagonist, "To make me even use my Aura Blade. I'll have to acknowledge you." The heavily injured protagonist, green energy swirling around him, manages to stabilize his power, declaring, "PHUW, I guess I can use this much," readying for the next clash. The protagonist activates Spirit Illusion Steps and unleashes full internal energy release, a desperate, all-out power surge for a final counter. Multiple after-images of the protagonist rapidly assault, unleashing a barrage of powerful, illusionary strikes at blinding speed, overwhelming the opponent. The protagonist's desperate, full internal energy release unleashes a powerful, blurring impact, a last-ditch effort in the intense battle. Senruroku, seemingly unfazed by the protagonist's all-out attack, comments on his troublesome tricks, with multiple protagonist after-images lying defeated around him. A close-up reveals one of the protagonist's after-images, heavily bloodied and defeated on the ground, highlighting the devastating impact of Senruroku's counter. Senruroku confidently declares himself the victor, but the protagonist defiantly retorts, challenging him to brace himself, setting the stage for their true final clash. Divine Archer Zurokana, observing the chaotic battle from atop a cliff, expresses impatience, urging someone to quickly win and conclude the prolonged fight. Divine Archer Zurokana dramatically yawns, clearly bored and unimpressed by the ongoing, drawn-out battle, overtly wishing for its swift conclusion. Survivors 3/100ths confirming that only 3 combatants remain in the brutal competition.